show me the product, we could've did it. Everything going crazy, it's I'ma get it. And I just wanna move on and not regret it. But the past is too dark, I just can't forget it. Securing the nails in the coffin, I don't get this feeling so walk.
Do you make the time for love? You just wait for when the landslide comes.
around your memories. Because you might get lost.
Hey there everybody, how's it going? We are here for the Diamond Finals over in Blue Otter League. We've got Akuma facing off against Elysium Dawn this time. How's it going, Go?
Cool. I spent like 2 hours grilling today, so I reek of like bratwursts. So thankfully the viewers at home can't smell me, but then again, barbecue does smell good. Either way though, already into picks and bans here. Finish up the first round of the first phase of the pick and ban. Some pretty popular champs up on the board here. The main interesting thing to note is that we do see the Sivir pick coming out from Akuma Sabers. Haven't really been seeing that pick too much lately. It's all been about the Varus that you see on the right side there.
Yeah, absolutely, and I do like the Sivir as kind of we're gonna sit it in lane and just like wave clear, kind of wait for Vi and make plays. Good diving potential already, good counter to Varus's ultimate, but at the same time you have like indexed really hard into dive in the first two picks on blue side here, going for the Vi first pick, then the immediate response with Poppy and seeing Talia R3. Pretty good drafting so far from Elysium, in my opinion.
Yep, some nice ways to counter out this dive coming through. Like you mentioned, so the question is, how are Akuma Sabers going to round out the rest of their draft here? Because already a lot of it's getting stuffed here. You can pick a champion in the top lane that can just run down as their form of engage. That's one good way of doing it. Gwen, you know, not exactly the primary engager, but does typically run you down for the most part with that ghost. And does it get locked? I mean, does well into the Cassandra.
Yeah, it does very well into Cassandra, and it is currently pretty difficult to deal with in the side lane. Mundo is a pivot, though.
That's another champ that runs you down.
Yeah, it does. For sure.
And looks like it's going to be the Mundo. All right.
All right. So far, still kind of feels like Elysium has a plan. And Akuma also has a plan, but that plan involves diving and getting a lead in snowballing, or maybe not being able to play the game.
Yeah, Akuma do still need to pick their support here. Good luck for a roaming support here if you want to leave the Sivir on her own. Nautilus is a roaming support if you do so please to play it that way. Of course, that is another champion that can get stuffed a little by the Talia and Poppy. They're good on their anti-mobility timing.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So, I mean, not really sure if you can hop to somebody, try to jump through Poppy's W, through Talia's E. Just press R and walk at him. You know, good pivot and that roamer, just like you said.
Yep. We'll see, because especially now through Rakan, you can't spell shield out through a combo. Yes, you can spell shield the Chains of Corruption coming from Varus, but due to the fact that Rakan Grand Entrance plus the quickness is 2 spells, you only get a spell shield 1. If you spell shield the Grand Entrance, I believe you have a brief window to flash on out, but that does still cost your flash, and of course flash a longer cooldown than the quickness ultimate, so might not be as easy to leave this Sivir alone. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Sivir does have potential to be run down pretty aggressively. I like that R5 from Elysium as well. We'll see if Akuma is able to play just through, you know, having comfort. I imagine Mundo. I haven't seen the matchup enough to really know how the Mundo versus Cassandra matchup goes in a vacuum. I'm not sure if you have a little more context for me, but.
Not really, no. Because I haven't seen like too much post rework Mundo. I know like you have a pretty decent laning phase if you can just run them down with the cleavers. Of course, you just have those huge auto attacks. Not necessarily with the Hearthsteel, since that item right now is still a little on the weak side, last I checked. But just due to the fact you do have a lot of bunk in your auto, so if you're able to get on top of Varus, if you're able to get on top of Talia, just him with that fatty auto can do stuff. And you do technically have the one immunity to potentially the all out from your lane opponent here, which can be nice.
Yeah, it makes complete sense to me. And like, if we get into a situation where we're like in a 1-3-1, we have dive threat, we have Varus sitting alone. He does have those chains of corruption to save himself, but at the same time, he's still not the most mobile. So like, I can see a world where if this mid jungle duo starts to pop off really hard, then they can be an absolute menace in these side lanes.
Yeah, it definitely could be, of course. So Akuma Sabers, their main damage late game is, of course, going to be this Sever, because the Ahri does fall off a little bit. You know, can still pop a squishy, but won't really be doing too much once the Poppy and Cassante here get some items under the belt. So really just going to be looking at this Sever here, and did have some concerns about this Sever getting run down in laning phase by Recon plus Varus, especially if there is some roaming coming out here from the Akuma support. We'll have to see, but definitely going to be hedging a lot of their bets here on this Sever hitting that 3-item point.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So if you see the game, let's play a game while we wait for the players to actually start draft. We're probably going to go to break a little early this time, but
yeah,
let's say game goes 20 minutes even. Which team breaks away? What at 2 items, at 3 items? What team starts to pull away?
I'm kind of feeling Elysium Dawn. Because just looking at it, the fact that you have Poppy to shut down a lot of engage, if you're able to stop the Dredge line, if you're able to stop the Assault and Battery, or sorry, the Vault Smasher, that one's the Q, from this Vi, or even just one of the Spirit Rushes, like, that shuts down a lot of Akuma's threat onto your backline here, and the rest of it's just going to be like a Mundo trying to run down your Varus, but, you know, only got 1 CC immunity, can melt through it, assuming it is the on-hit Varus here with that Blade Through King.
You know,
So I'm kind of favoring Elysium Dawn.
Yeah, I absolutely share that sentiment. I think like you have critical mass from Sivir if the game goes long enough, as always. But at the same time, even I think like they're able to create space and create a more solid line for Elysium's comp at pretty much every stage of the game. I think from a draft perspective, Elysium has a pretty fair advantage, if I do say so myself.
Alrighty, looks like we're both in agreement here. It is, of course, 20 minutes and even.
Yeah, that's
things are different, of course. It's 40 minutes and even.
Yeah.
You know.
But,
yeah, but
yeah, we'll have to see how they do though. So far, you think in Elysium so far?
Yeah, right now, just looking at the drafts, you're kind of feeling that out a little bit more, because I really just like the Poppy pick here into what Akuma Sabers have. The Poppy should be able to do a lot of work. Of course, you won't be able to steadfast presence everything, but you steadfast presence that one big engage that can buy so much time for your backline here.
I agree wholeheartedly. Well, let's see if Elysium can prove us right, or if Akuma Sabers are going to show us that maybe the comp doesn't matter too much. We'll be right back once we get into game. We'll see you soon.
Your lips are stained with fiction. You always have your reasons, and I spoil you rotten. Your hands are sealed in pockets. You fill them with your secrets. To you, I am nothing. I am. Your kiss, sweet like poison. You know you make me reckless. I'll run, but you are friction. have a billion reasons to keep you. I have a million reasons to leave you, but I have a billion reasons to keep you.
Hello everybody, and we are back from the spectator delay. We are in game right now with game 1 of our Diamond Finals, and shaping up to be a good one.
Yes, sir. Yep, got everybody fanning on out as I'm fiddling with Discord just for a mere second. I don't know why it wants to do me like that. There we go. Yep. Nothing too fishy going on here in this game. Number 1, everybody just taking the standard 5 gamer fan. Sussing each other out. No one going for wards, interestingly enough. I thought maybe we might see one of these teams try and push up and drop an early ward just to catch where one of these junglers might be starting off their clear. That is pretty commonplace nowadays in Pro. Of course, that's also partially because lane swap, but hey.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any lane swaps here in Diamond. I know you're
Thank
in
God.
Masters. Did we see it in Finals at all for Masters?
I know in Masters we saw it.
And how did it go for them?
I can't quite remember. I think the first 2 games, the team that did the lane swap won. Then we didn't see a lane swap in games 3 and 4. There was no lane swap in game 5 either, since there was I think we were doing Fearless there.
Oh, right. We're also seeing, like, it's usually used to, like, get out of particularly difficult lane matchups. And
Yeah.
while we did think that the matchup did favor the Varus and the Rakan in isolation, Sun and Stars should be able to protect Rathu here.
Yeah. Then also, I don't think the window here for basting will do too hot in a lane swap. Oh, level 2 first here for the Akuma bot lane. Nice hook.
Yeah, you have just a little hook going off, taking advantage of that level 1, but Toomey being forced to trade inside of the Rock Garden here. Ratchet getting a good trade off, and Toomey even returning it, getting him close down to about half here, but even CS from the mid laners right off the bat.
Yep, might have a gank here. We see a Renku on the side, not seen.
As we channel the
Got a
Vault
fourth
Breaker,
flash.
not going to be able to get anything other than the flash. Might be grounds for a repeat gank as the trade comes off top lane. Flame poking down basting just a little bit more here.
Yep, Mundo does have very strong trades, but just due to the fact that if you're able to pop the passive, that is a huge chunk of health off him. And it's not like you block the damage either. So you're still taking all that damage and potentially also losing out on that health. Of course, if you're able to pick up the little pill on the ground or little capsule on the ground, you get all of it back. Once again, looking
flash
flash
charm
charm.
out there. Renku though missing the Vault Breaker flash. Ratchet gonna knock them back, and First Blood still going over the Ahri. Luckily for them, Vi a little bit closer to the tower is gonna take that one shot and survive the dive here.
Very, very lucky. Although, interesting thing to note, Renko did do only 4 camps here. So, Furry Little Feet wants to be tricky. They can steal away the red because they did not see that on the Vi. Looks like that's going to be the case. Of course, you will trade First Blood for one of your buffs here. Every time.
If you're Vi, are you fine with that?
Yeah. I mean, you got First Blood here for your mid laner. The loss of XP, of course, is going to suck for Renku because Vi, of course, does want to hit 6 pretty quickly. Although that Furry Little Feet in some danger does have Flash.
And it is going to be forced out. Nautilus able to get that rotation without really losing a whole lot for Sivir. Down 4 CS, but all things considered, not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's also Sivir, like...
Yeah.
especially once you get, like, an item in the bank, you just absolutely mow through waves.
And we actually do have a couple trades going down. This mid lane is very feisty. These two are trading constantly, it seems like, as the Electrocute proc comes off.
Yeah. Yeah, a little surprising for the mid lane, too. I mean, I definitely expected some feistiness here, but like you mentioned, Dory, they're kind of just at each other's throats constantly, it feels like, in this mid lane. And we'll see how that does end up here, because neither of these carries have Flash. Of course, Toomey does have the Spirit Rush in 2 levels time.
Basting being forced to pop the Ghost. Flame gonna do it in kind, but Ratchet gonna block off his escape route. The CC coming down, manages to get the pill. Basting trying to use the bush to get a 1-for-1 trade off, and he does! Ratchet gonna take the kill. And in response, basting does take flame down.
1 for 1, but you do waste a bunch of time there. Which is really, really nice for basting, and it also means that Toomey was able to just push this wave into turret. Did not follow through with their recall here. Gotta get some help. I'm guessing they want to pick up this extra wave here because it is cannon. You do want to get that +1, but could also just be, hey, I really need this extra bit of gold for a certain item breakpoint here, only sitting on those city to boots. Maybe it gets them the lost chapter here, and then in which case, that's pretty juiced.
Yeah, so that is a pretty decent advantage for the Ahri as well. Still matching 1 kill, has that 40 CS to 35. Talia's going to be able to hop in here and get a little bit of it back, but good rotation here for Nautilus, helping Ahri get that crash off quicker.
Yep. Great. Great play by Sun and Stars there, because usually when you think of supports roaming, it's like, oh, they're roaming to either help with an objective or just try and get a gank off, but sometimes it's so you can get wave management nirvana and just make sure your homies have Gucci smoochy backs.
So, as we break into the next phase of the game, we're past 5 minutes, we're past 6 minutes. We're going to go ahead and scout out which objective we're going for. Pretty clear Poppy's going to go for this set of grubs. Vi's going to go for Drake. Pretty straightforward, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, even though Riot specifically made the grubs spawn at 6 minutes instead of 5 to prevent these trades, we still see them all the time. It just happens like a minute or a minute and a half later, because if Dragon's the only thing on the map, you can't exactly safely make sure you're going for that, unless you know enemy jungle's topside, which you can't guarantee, but just wait an extra minute to get first Dragon, and then you can just trade for grubs. So, okay, Dragon definitely going to work out more in the long run. But we'll see if Elysium is able to make use of these grubs while the plates are up. Because, of course, you know, plate gold does help quite a bit.
Yeah, and right now, gold advantage is sitting on...
No. Charm.
Here, the flash. Ooh, Ratchet, good flash. Vi taking the tower aggro. Sun and Star is going to take it in response, though. Toomey running out of mana. Does not have quite enough. But Furry Little Feet here shows up, forces the flash out. Sun and Star's going to be forced to walk away. And they just barely escape with their lives. Furry Little Feet getting some good protective counter gank off here.
Yeah, but Furry Little Feet did use the Steadfast Presence there to initially walk into the lane so they could get there in time to make sure Ratchet doesn't drop. And not having that means you can just see the Dredge Line come out from Sun and Stars there. Nobody drops. That Charm landing a little bit of a debate here for the side of Akuma. Because it's like, okay, the Charm landed. We can finish off the skill. Nope. Can't exactly. And does cost quite a bit of flashes here.
And in your opinion, when do we get to that point where Sivir just kind of doesn't interact with the lane anymore? Like, I feel like it takes at least her first item to actually like full clear it with like QW auto.
Yeah, the big thing is, of course, you just get more levels into your Boomerang Blade. Once that's maxed at level 9, that helps a ton with the clear. But like you said, also, you do kind of need some itemization because you don't have AD to back it up. You will notice that, so we'll see. Because Rathu already definitely at a point. I'll hold that thought because we see dive in the top lane.
And the dive coming off pretty well executed here, pretty straightforward, and they commit a ton of bodies to make this play here. And Sivir not even really being punished that hard for it on the other side.
Yeah, because we saw Koyash out of the lane there, so it was just 1 versus 1, and Rathu already kind of getting pretty close to that point where you can't just be uninteractive wave clear. You do have to worry about mana management, of course, since I'm assuming it's only really the presence of mind here on the Sivir, so you gotta be racking up those boomerang hits to get back some of the mana here.
Yeah, that makes complete sense to me. We can actually take a look at... No, we can't because all my hotkeys are broken yet again.
Oh,
unlucky.
Right. I blame Vanguard.
Definitely Vanguard's fault. Anyway, Toomey going for a short little trade here, but Ratchet gets charmed up, has Furry Little Feet right behind them, able to use the work ground there to, not the work ground, the rocks. They threw some rocks on the ground and made it so Ahri couldn't do Spirit Rush.
Yeah. I believe Works is the minefield.
Yeah. And Toomey taking yet another
Ooh.
one of those seismic shoves. Oh, the Spirit Rush coming out though in response. Is she able to get the kill off? No, she's going to be forced to run away here. Furry Little Feet walking back into lane. But Flame says, no thank you. Goodbye, Toomey. I'm going for the roam here on my Lade crashing.
Yeah, poor Toomey there. Just eats so much damage there. Because that's one of the catch-22s of trading into the Talia as Arya. It's like, okay, cool. I happen to be in range of you. But you have the Worked Earth down. So I can't exactly dash out. But if I stay here, I'm just eating all your rocks.
And speaking of eating another gank here, we got Furry Little Feet procking the passive and picking it up. So Basting not going to heal. Little drive-by here, making sure they get access to the grubs. And we have Koyesh arriving first, but the all-out comes out actually. Basting going to try to fight back here, pops his ultimate, and Flame barely going to survive, actually dodges it out and gets the solo bolo, but the minions take down Flame. And we've got a 3v3 on the opposite side. One grub going down for the Poppy. Ultimate going down here.
Oh, that's a
Is she going to get
twofer.
the second grub? And yes, she is. That's up to 5 here for our friends in Elysium. And honestly, all 6 grubs trading 1 for 1 in the top side. This is looking pretty good for Elysium.
Yeah, Akuma were so close to taking one of the grubs there to deny at least the double Voidling pop there with the 6-stack. But just missing out on the smite there for that first one.
Ooh, Charm lands.
Charm does land. Look for the hook.
Sun and Stars
There's no
waits
flash.
for the ground to go away. Popping the Dredge line is going to take the turret aggro here, allow Toomey to get the kill off, and that's going to finish it off. But he loses aggro. Toomey being forced to flash out because Furry Little Feet is arriving. Barely survives the tower shot. But yet another well-executed dive from Toomey.
Because your bot lane's backing here.
Yeah, so Renku actually misses the smite. Smite's a little early, and he's going to get taken down. Furry Little Feet getting the response. Chains of Corruption going down just for good measure to make sure Vi doesn't escape. And that is a dead Vi and a stolen dragon for Elysium.
Yep, very unfortunate timing there for Renku, because mid lane, you have 2 people there. You know Toomey has to back after that play. Sun and Stars kind of used all their stuff, and Rathu was actually backing there, so you're just alone in the pit. Very easy snuff out there, and Elysium, they gotta be feeling fine and dandy about that. Yes, you do lose that one in the mid, but you're able to get one back in the pit and steal away the dragon here. Gonna be welcome.
Alright, so back to it. We got Flame actually getting the push here. So even though Basting's got a little HP advantage, he's not going to be able to trade too much back onto him. But Sun and Stars and Renku finally realizing that they're standing on a ward here. Idris backing off immediately upon seeing them makes it pretty obvious. Think, okay, let's channel the sweeper. Renku, though, waiting to see if we can execute a dive here. But with Koyesh arriving, not sure if it could be done quite yet. We've got a pretty close impending 4v4 going on here.
Yeah, Flame has TP and Basting does not here, so it could potentially be a 5 versus 4 if this does break out, but it is cooling off now. Oh, dash on in.
The Spirit Rush comes out, misses the Spirit Rush, or not Spirit Rush, the Charm gets missed here, but Furry Little Feet in response gonna try to get the return gank off onto Vi. No one's gonna die, but a few of these cooldowns going down with rotation from Rathu and Sun and Stars coming in first. We do see Idris and Koyesh following. Poppy decides to take the trade.
Oh, is that a bait?
An auto attack from Sun and Stars. Toomey barely surviving in the back, does not die to the burn, but in comes Flame. We don't have TP coming down. Basting walking down slowly. Koyesh barely misses out on getting that kill into the backside, but that is gonna be a 1-for-0 so far. Over to Elysium, rotating over to the Rift Herald here now. 14.5, almost 15 minutes. Rift Herald could spell danger for first tower.
It most certainly could here, of course. Plates are not on the table, so it won't be a massive swing in gold. Either way, though, it's a dub. You're able to take down a lot of enemy cooldowns in the mid lane. It's a 1-for-0 in your favor. You're able to grab the Herald here. So far, it's just been that one dragon you've given up in the objective game here, but otherwise, pretty solid showing from Elysium and great counter collapse there. We saw Flame. First one on the roam there, thanks to some lane prio on the top side. Just helping them out a ton there with pincering off some members trying to get away.
And now, well, this is, it seems like it's been explosive. It feels like there's constant action. We're having to, like, stop to talk about something. Yet, we still haven't seen a tower go down, and we're not quite at a kill a minute. I'm used to being in the gold elo stream, so I'm not used to sub 1 kill a minute games.
Yeah, it's definitely been higher on the octane list, I guess, on average, but there's been some good moments of lull here in the action, you know, just some trading in lanes. There have definitely been a lot of ganks, though. A lot of roams to the mid lane, especially here. Poor Ratchet just constantly having what feels like 2 to 3 people in their lane here.
That absolutely seems to be the case, and look, they haven't taken any towers down, but they said 16 minutes, let's just perform the swap. We've got mid laners heading down to the bot lane here. Bot laners heading up top. Charm getting missed just a little bit wide here, and this game still feels like it's pretty dead even.
Yeah, it's definitely dead even here. I mean, gold 600 apart, that's like a wave or two, a kill perhaps. And both teams even on dragons. We'll see what happens here, because next dragon is spawning in 40 seconds. That could be a room for scuffling here for both these sides. Of course, it wouldn't be the end of the world to give it up. I mean, getting your second dragon at 18-ish minutes almost still means you're probably looking at that 28-minute soul. That's still quite a while out. Plenty of time if you just want to look to scale up here.
You see for
Like if your name
getting caught here, use the Q to check. Actually just goes a little bit wide on the spell shield, and popping that steadfast presence, very little feet, gonna be able to walk away here though. But Ratchet gonna protect the tower. No first tower going down quite yet for Basting, because in response you can see Ratchet has TP available, so does Basting. This dragon is up, so let's see who gets onto it first. Rift Herald being procced by red team. So Rathian, Sun and Stars gonna rotate out there to take care of it, but take a look at the actual dragon pit. Flame is already there.
We're just
Don't have Renku challenging, so they're gonna go ahead and just go back to business as usual, give up the Drake like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, not the end of the world by any means. Don't really want to give up anything too funky there while he's still got Rathu as this silver scaling. Just grab some guaranteed gold in the mid lane with that wave that was starting to crash there, and then of course the Herald lane. Of course, out the Spear Rush.
And Basting, gonna go ahead and reset here. Back to business as usual. What do we got for item breakpoints? We got one item pretty much across the board for everybody at this point. Obviously, support is a poverty roll, just rocking some components so far, but
they technically have one item.
yeah, they got their support item.
Yeah. It's like technically an M because it's like so cheap. And you upgrade it into kind of a legendary. It doesn't have legendary stats. Hold that thought. There might be a bit of danger here. Hex Flash. Okay, I didn't think that Hex Flash is going over the wall, but can't be too safe.
Sun and Stars just joking around a little bit. Little haha joke, funny. But yeah, Basting actually starting to become a Mundo here. Flame proving not able to like 100% kill him now through the Heartsteel, and sitting at the early 158 stacks, about to get a knock off onto the tower here. He's threatening first tower in 2 different lanes right now. Honestly, Akuma could take either of these side lane towers pretty quickly if they rotate their team over.
Mm-hmm. And just gotta be able to get the rotations on in. And first chart, still on the board here, Dory, so would be a nice little extra chunk of change. Of course, with how even the game is, just getting simply first turret bonus, especially without plates, is not going to be a huge game swinger, but putting some extra gold in your pocket to further a lead would be nice. I'm looking at a bit of a gank coming out here.
Ooh,
charge, nice flash.
Along with the Vault Breaker, cease and desist being procced here, but Basting... Oh! Basting does not block the Poppy ultimate with his passive. He's going to return the kill onto Ratchet, though, by using his ultimate. Renku slowly walking back, does not have access to cease and desist, does have the Vault Breaker to try to land, but the Q lands. Sun and Stars tanking the tower as the wave comes in. 3 players. Ooh, just goes a little bit wide on the queue so they can finish off the tower. And that's going to be first tower going over to Akuma.
And for your little feats, Keeper's Verdict, they're kind of a little bit of a troll. Because you knock away a low health member that you can realistically kill. And Toomey able to survive that one thanks to that. And I mean, Basting more than happy to pop the maximum dosage, run down with his Hearthsteel, pick up their 3rd kill of the game, 3, 2, and 1. First person on the Rift actually to hit 2 full items here. Never mind. Rathy did hit 2 full items first because they were able to recall beforehand, but either way, pretty powerful.
And suddenly, where the gold's sitting, it's looking pretty good for Rathian Basting. Akuma hitting 2 items on 2 pretty powerful players at this point. I'd say Sivir on 2 items is looking pretty good. I'd say Mundo on 2 items, pretty beefy.
Yeah. It's definitely pretty scary here, of course, though. I do wish Rathy would upgrade those boots here, because tier 1 boots as an ADC just feels pretty bad.
Yeah, he, Flame traded back onto Basting but he is looking pretty big. The passive comes out, Basting gonna get the health back from picking it up, is rocking a blue buff here. Not really able to have it. At this point, we're probably just gonna assume that we're gonna see like a wet noodle fight top lane anytime they do something, right?
Yeah, Basting definitely can slap around Flame a little bit here, is due to the fact Mundo does have decent damage against tanks. Technically being a Juggernaut, you know, it gives you some extra benefits when it comes to dealing with tanks. Not quite as much of a tank buster as other Juggernauts, though, but hey, they've got some extra juice in the tank that will help.
You do have to remember that sometimes, I guess. I tend to forget that he's not just like a pure tank as well, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that's a very common mistake.
Yeah.
It's like, you build full tank, you gotta look at the play style, gotta look at the moves, look at the plays, look at the team fight that's not happening.
Nothing's really gonna happen out of there.
Yeah.
Idris being forced to use the flash to get away, using Ghost just for good measure, but Furry Little Feet gonna defend the exit here, and even more slap fighting between Flame and Basting, but at this point he has a 2-level lead, and that's nearly half of Flame's health bar. That's what I get for making a comment about Mundo the not tank, as the charm comes out, and that is gonna be a dead Ratchet, dead to Leah. Keeper's Verdict coming out, but Furry Little Feet gonna go down off to Toomey, going for the flash over the wall. And that is going to be a double kill for this Ahri, opening the game up. Akuma Sabers onto the dragon here to tie it up 2-2.
Yep, 2-2. Extend their gold lead now to about 4k, thanks to the fact that they are up 2 turrets, one of which was the first one. Able to get some kills in the meantime as well, so that is a little bit spooky here because the Sever is definitely online now. Not like peak ultimate Exodia Sever, but he's going to be doing quite a bit of work as Trees might be in a bit of danger. Gonna be able to hobble on out. I was expecting the dredge line to come out, but it does not come out.
Yeah. Sun and Stars almost getting that dredge line back online here in just a moment. Sorry, Depth Charge is this queue. Dredge line's the key. Or, yeah. I know what I'm saying. Chat, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Check, can we get confirmation on this?
Depth Charge is the ult, I swear. The ult is back now, but yeah, hitting a pretty good dredge line there. The Q, definitely the Q. Would have been great, but Idris just kind of understanding that he is in a good position, doesn't want to just randomly give himself up there.
Oh my!
That wasn't even blind. Toomey being caught here, being forced over the wall, and the keep.
Oh, you'll let yourself get grounded.
Let's go, staying grounded. Everybody just keeping you in place there, and even that, the Furry little feet knock into the wall right next to the Baron with 2 people going down. That could be an instant go on the Baron. Sun and Stars has to do something about this, but he's getting CC. TP coming out from Basting. TP in response from Flame, about half HP on the Baron here. But Ratchet going down really low to Basting. Basting creating a ton of disruption, but keep an eye on Rathu on the bot side of this fight. Shutdown going on to the Mundo, and unfortunately, we've got no options for Rathu. He has to walk out in here, might try to go for the fight. They are still tanking Baron. It's still got 10,000 HP. Sun and Stars dropping the ward, but it's going to lose vision here shortly as Flame goes for the response onto Rathu. They're going to disengage, but the teleport coming out from Toomey trying to play the charm, but it goes a little bit wide. Spirit Rush coming out here. Rathu able to use the Ricochet to take him down, and Furry Little Feet going to stun him against the wall. Toomey goes down onto the backside, but Idree is gonna barely not survive this fight here. Furry Little Feet forced to walk away, but that's a triple kill onto the Sivir. And now, out of nowhere, you've got Akuma sitting on the side of the Baron with the numbers advantage. Not that they're gonna do it, but whew, good response from Akuma.
Yeah, and Ratchet didn't take their ultimate there. They had the Weaver's Wall down, but didn't elect to take it there. Maybe just considering a fight already lost there. And I thought that was like a little bit cope coming out from Akuma, because it's like, y'all are just kind of throwing your bodies into the meat grinder there. They give up a couple shutdowns. They give up quite a few kills, but able to win the fight out in the end there. I think it's 11-9. Okay. They're no longer ahead by 3 kills. They're now only ahead by 2 kills. So definitely came out on the wrong end of that, since they did give over shutdowns, but they stopped the Baron.
Yeah, they definitely did. And then keep an eye on Rathu as well. He's looking huge right now. He's managed to avoid dying, but the CC is just coming out. Koyash trying to do some CC onto the backside. Flashes out, has the Ignite on him, but Rathu is now on a rampage. Renku zoning him off. Sun and Stars also in a good position here. Neither teleport is available from these top laners, so they're going to turn on to the Baron from the Akuma Sabers. And this is a bad situation to be in if we're Elysium. Charm going down on a Furry Little Feet, being zoned off of this Baron here. The team is pretty tanky. Akuma should be able to do Baron relatively low risk here. So if nobody from Elysium can get in, then it's looking like a free Baron going over to Basting and Co. We don't even need teleports. We're looking huge. We just take the tower and completely ignore the Cassante. But Idree is going to try to get a kill in response. Basting trying to go 1-for-1 yet again, but this is going to be a kill. Going down onto Basting in response to this Baron, but the damage has already been done. Go.
That was really close to that. One Heartsteel plus Grasp auto attack from Basting nearly takes down Furry Little Feet there, and you do at least take off one big Baron buff here if you are on the side of Elysium. That is a silver lining, and you do have 5 versus 4 on the map here at the start of this Dragon fight, because Basting does not have the TP as this Mundo. Of course, you are still down in the pot as Elysium. It is going to be a little hard to push up here. But if you're able to style out more of this Baron buff, maybe get another pick here. You're feeling fine and dandy about this.
We're seeing about a 7k gold lead here. Flame and Furry Little Feet trying to stop them from pushing any further here. But Vi dodges it out there, but Toomey getting caught just a little bit is going to try to kite it out. Koyash not going to be able to lock down Toomey for too long. And Rathu just walking at Flame here. Spell shields. Just avoids the CC, and now you've got about half health bars sitting on these Elysium players. They're trying to funnel into a choke point that they might not want to face here, as Toomey has the charm available. Goes for the charm over the wall onto Koyash. She's going to go down. Sun and Stars walking into this choke point as Vi takes this dragon. It's going to look like 3 for the side of Elysium, but now they've got Baron, they've got the 3rd dragon. They're going on to Soul Point, and we've got mid priority for a really strong ADC this game.
A 5-0 and 2 ADC at that, and automatically better than certain EU ADCs, because they actually bought Lord Dami next regards against a tank Cassante.
Yeah,
that was very memey.
Survive very long as the wall actually comes down. Furry Little Feet caught on the wrong side of said wall, but gonna barely escape. Uses the steadfast presence to avoid getting killed here, but the charm actually lands onto Ratchet, and yet another dead Talia here this game. Great pick, but it's just not turning out too well as Eldrees also goes down onto the backside. Basting not taking the aggro. It's actually Vi taking the aggro and going down in response. Renku is dead, but Baron is still around. Charm goes down onto Flame, and he's going to go down as well. Sun and Stars tanking it up just as they go for this last tower, but it looks like they're going to get onto the Nexus if Poppy can't do anything soon. Nope, Poppy's going to go down as well, and now it's Koyesh versus the world, but unfortunately, Koyesh can't do anything. He is forced into the fountain, and that is going to be game 1, going down to our friends Akuma Sabers.
Yep, and a nice, good showing from Akuma here in the later stages of the game. It was very, very even for a long part of that game here, of course, Doria, but once it got around the 19 to 20 minute mark, we just saw Akuma start gradually pulling ahead here, you know. They're able to get first turret, I believe at 15-ish minutes, get a small kill lead. There was that one chaotic fight, but then they will just kind of win every fight after that, grab Baron, and just end the game off of that.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we're looking at a pretty, like, we thought it was pretty even for quite a while to just, like, these decisive plays being... I lost my train of thought.
It happens to the best of us.
It's kind of weird. It just seems like the decision making from them. They just like pull the trigger on a fight, get one pick, turn one pick into a lot of things. Like one pick snowballs into a lot. Whereas like I've said, I've been watching BOL Gold for most of the season so far, where you pretty much like don't see any objectives get taken unless you see like a 3 to 5 person wipe.
Yeah. One of the differences, of course, between Gold and Diamond. Not to trash talking Gold players, of course.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, of course. Don't want to put another bad bitch down.
Across the board. Entertainment across the board. But wonderful showing from Rathu there. Managed to go 6-0 and 5, 25k damage, almost 26, and Basting just tanking up everything. That Mundo pick ended up going pretty well, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's a nice damage moment actually from Basting. They're out damaging their ADC by less than 1k. So good on them. Yeah, definitely a little crazy. Of course, there was a lot of trading with that Mundo versus Cassante, so that definitely did help pad the damage just a little bit there, but hey.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's going to be a long game. It's going to be a long series if this goes to not a 3-0, but this is finals. We're here to see some entertaining gameplay. So with that being said, we're going to go to a quick intermission. We're going to be right back with the draft for game 2. And we're right back into it. Game 2 draft. Looks like Elysium has elected to take blue side, and bans coming right out here. Urgot, Skarner immediately. How do we feel about new Skarner?
Still on the strong side right now. The nerfs haven't come through. So definitely still a terror in the jungle. These are also all returning bans from last game here from both sides. We'll see if Akuma bans the Rex side. Okay, yeah. So far, all returning bans. I don't think there's like any one standout pick from last game. I kind of agree with you, Dory, that it did feel like a little bit of a macro diff when it came to the later stages of the game. They're just able to get some more picks here and there and transition that on through. But it looks like Elysium think the Vi was a bit of an issue. Definitely put a lot of pressure in that mid lane.
Yeah, and that mid-jungle duo having to pop off and become menaces in both side lanes ended up kind of coming true. We saw multiple 4-man dives going into the bot lane. We saw Basting getting some, let's be real, Basting got ganked a lot and managed to still just come out ahead. Wonderful performance from that mid-jungle duo, so breaking them up definitely would be safe, but this is also something you don't want to see on blue side all the time, or if you're taking red side and just giving away to them. Jinx is good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, benefactor of the recent item changes, and also did get some buffs earlier this season, which helped a ton. Can be vulnerable. The Varus is up if Akuma want to lock that in for themselves. Looks like that might be the case here. You can also look to match the Zailing with Scary. That's Zeri. That is another bit of a pick that we have been seeing into the Jinx. I was going to the Varus here. I'm expecting it to be picked with an engage support here because you do want to pressure the Jinx during the laning phase. And once you get that Chains of Corruption, you can just look to very hard all in the Cookie Zon lady.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see in response if they're going to go for a jungle pick here that can lock down the Jinx, or if they're just going to try to pair Varus up with a strong support duo. Might be looking to kind of try to counter the Jinx lane really hard, but it looks like they've been comfortable blinding Ahri, and they're going to keep that trend up here this game.
Yeah, it was counterpicked last game with the Talia, and there definitely were some issues in the 1v1. Both the mid laners were really just getting at each other's throats. It did help that, of course, one of the mid laners did have much more help from their team, just constant roams up from jungle and support, but was a little bit worrying there, and had there been some more pressure there into the mid lane, maybe Toomey would be on a much sider set of the Ahri versus Talia matchup.
Interesting seeing the Xin Zhao come out in response. I think I personally am of the opinion that those high impact junglers are really good right now. We've been seeing a lot of Lee Sin, Xin Zhao, Jarvan. The Poppy had a lot of impact last game. Like you said, ganks were just like constant, it seemed, that game.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons you might want to get the tent emote in the shop. Of course, we're not sponsored by Riot Games, so can't tell you convincingly to go spend RP on this game. In fact, I'd hold off a little bit, but Varus Callista. Especially you don't see.
If only I could say somebody to Akuma is a Dory fan, but I don't think anybody knows who I am. So
I don't think I would like it
my
here.
forever Callista hover. Now Callista support being a pretty it's a thing that Carrier does, right? At least
Okay.
in response.
We've seen other teams do it as well. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it does help a ton when it comes to lane swaps, of course. But if you're against a Jinx, you don't really want to be lane swapping. You want to be against the Jinx so you can make sure the Jinx is behind. And I like the Lee Sin a lot more here. Like I said, it is a playmaking champion. We'll be able to match Xin Zhao's aggression somewhat early on. It is hard to just pure 1v1 match the Xin Zhao on first clear, even in the first few clears of the game, mind you, but we'll be able to go kind of toe-to-toe with them.
Now, seeing the instant Olaf ban, knowing that we see a Xin Zhao top, I think it's entirely possible that Akuma might be trying to just take the Cassante for themselves at this point. If we see another like pretty hard Cassante counter or like Cassante match, apparently the Mundo, if we see another one getting banned here, that is another Cassante counter. It's entirely possible we see Cassante R4 and then support counter pick R5 here.
Yeah, it definitely is. We know Cassante's been the talk of the town here thanks to MSI, of course. had a 70% win rate before today's matches, or yesterday's matches if you're not EST and it started then, but yada yada yada.
Ruin their plans with the
Kled blind would be interesting. Kled as a counter pick, I do really respect. Definitely has its merits, but blind can of course be punished because it is a very one-note champion. You know the Kled is going to just hard all in you all the time, Dory. You are going to have to be on your feet.
Yeah, and knowing that you're going into a blind though, yeah, the Tomcat switch. Good role player, good at repositioning this Varus if he does get locked down. And then Ari and Lee Sin being pretty self-sufficient. I think that's not the worst pick in the world. And maybe they have the idea that Flame doesn't have a good response to it.
Yeah. Can also be the Tom Kinge top here. Don't really see that as much in coordinated 5v5 here. Much more of a solo queue / flex queue thing, but is something to consider here. That could be on the table. Okay, maybe not into the Renekton. I don't think Tom Kinge would have a good time into the Renekton. Renekton, of course, going to be a very neutral thing in the top lane. Can't play strong side, can't play weak side. Generally doesn't have any hard losing matchups here. So you're fine blind picking it.
Yeah, and we're looking like Elysium over here, trying to create a much more aggressive, like early skirmishing comp, and then a good recon protection for Jinx here. Pretty versatile support, again, picking it 2 games in a row. I don't think the recon was necessarily a problem. The situation that their support was in last game was kind of doomed at a certain point, so...
Yeah, okay. Alright, well, I would just kind of counterfix nearly everything in the top lane. One of my friends actually has a classic saying where if a champion's hardest counters and only counters in lane are just ranged tops, then they don't have counters. And Alawi kind of falls into that a lot of the time.
Yeah, she seems like the juggernaut that like beats other juggernauts. If that makes any sense. Like, it feels like she just beats the crap out of everybody. Anyway.
Yeah, that's kind of her whole shtick. Like, 1v1, 1v2, 1v3. You just get enough tentacles, you pop the Grand Slam ultimate, and go to town. Won't provide as much in team fights, of course. Can't really engage. You just kind of walk at people maybe a little bit quickly. Is going to be much more a side laning thing, and we're just going to see a very perma-shoving Alawi, I feel.
Yeah, and it does feel like the way Akuma's playing that they've basically just been like making picks and putting their vision line like just past the jungle entrances for Elysium, and then just kind of like playing around this Ari charm. Ari's been hitting some really solid charms the first game, and just using like one player advantages, one player picks to snowball into objectives. And honestly, that Baron turnaround last game might have made the game for them. That Baron turnaround was crazy.
That Baron turnaround was so funny. Like, you lose 2, then you lose another one, but then you grab 2 for yourself and stop the Baron. It was definitely a wacky series of events.
But at the same time, too, like the Alawi pick, you see actually 4 melees on the side of Elysium, so that's just like, that's kind of a really good place for Alawi to be in. Like, I can see this pick going really hard, or I can also see it being like really embarrassing if Ari and Lee Sin can't lock the Jinx down.
Yeah, it can be really embarrassing. Of course, though, it is going to be side lane Alawi here. It means your only dive is right now Lee Sin and Ari, who are, of course, relying on skill shots to get into the backline, which isn't the most guaranteed here, especially if this Jinx starts getting some excitement pop-offs. That can be an issue here, Dory.
Yeah, Jinx being able to outrange Varus and Ari with Fishbones at most points of the game is definitely concerning. Varus not being able to run away and Tom being forced to displace him to avoid some of the engage that Silas and Zinzao and Renekton and I'm just gonna list the whole comp at that point. Not being able to really like fend for himself if he's dove at multiple points could be a problem. So what do you think? It feels like it's whichever team's able to move forward probably just wins.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards that a little bit here. I'm feeling like Akuma might just be looking to get a degenerate top lane lead here and just look to push through that. That definitely can be a thing, because if Alawi gets ahead, then Renekton is just kind of a non-factor because someone has to constantly be on Alawi duty. And your best bet's probably the Croc.
Makes perfect sense to me. Like, I don't know. I don't even think there's a champion that matches up with this Alawi well. I think they got him on R5, to be honest.
Yeah, you'd have to have R5 to deal with Alawi. Because I know Quinn technically is a counter matchup. Gwen is technically a counter matchup. It flips from patch to patch. But either way, though, it's going to be a beast to deal with this Alawi in the side lane if you don't put her super far behind early on, of course, which you definitely can do here. You have the Xin Zhao in the jungle for Furry Feet, so can make a lot of action happen, so why not just gank top early before the Alawi comes online with that Slam ultimate, or Leap of Faith ultimate, I should say. The Slam is the Q. And then, yeah, make sure that's just not a entity in game.
As we wait for the spectator delay one more time, we're going to get ready to get into game 2. But everybody, hold tight. We're going to see if we can go to match point, or if our boys at Elysium can make this a series. We'll be right back.
like a bomb squad.
And we are back, Blue Otter League. How is everybody doing? We're into game number 2, and it looks like we're getting another 5-player, 10-player fan, just like game 1, go.
Yeah, good for them. It means we can do a quick little ad read here
Yeah.
for all the viewers in the audience. Are you looking to meet new people or teammates while playing the game you love? Are you trying to prove that you can carry your team regardless of what anchor or brick is on it? Does Kybcat submit to Walmart? If you answered yes to any or all of these questions, you should join the BOL Draft League today. You can see the little info there on the screen. Not too expensive to enter, only 10 smackers to enter.
Yeah,
If you're a millennial, that's about an avocado toast and a half. If you're not a millennial, you probably don't understand that metric.
And with that, yeah, we actually just got done accepting our first wave of applicants to the league, so you've still got time to sign up as far as I'm aware. We'll see, we'll get you an update when we can, if that is still the case, but
yeah.
Level 1 here, go. Pretty standard start from these guys. Both junglers starting in their topside buff.
Yep, we did see Ratchet, though, go for a nice little deep ward there onto enemy Raptors. I like it when mid laners do that. Just help you track where the enemy jungler is for their first clear. They did see a Ranku come up and contest that ward, so they already know where the Lee Sin is starting. Of course, though, having that ward there means, did Ranku decide to go for, is it going to be a one camp down to Raptors into buff into maybe a gank, or is it going to be full clear topside? And right now, Elysium knows it's looking to be the full clear topside.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're not 100% sure. They're going to see the Lee Sin end up on these Raptors if the Lee Sin's plan was to do, like, free camp into Ahri mid into bot side clear. But the response here, actually, Sun and Stars being stopped, basting, and Flame yet again, 2 games in a row, just going for these constant fights.
Oof.
And the Test of Spirit actually landing onto Flame makes that trade a little bit in Basting's favor.
Yeah, that's how Alawi trades go. Did you land the Test of Ping? If you did, you'll win the trade. If you didn't, you probably don't win the trade.
It's actually interesting to see Flame taking HP chunks off of Basting despite having that happen to him. Good tethering around the ability. Basting not actually able to finish it off.
Yeah, that is, it is still wise to contest the Alawi at the Spirit point, because she'll have to decide, do I smack you or smack the Spirit? Or sometimes both, you can definitely do that with a Q, but usually in these early levels, she's smacking you with a W that, I haven't learned the W's name, actually. Q is Slam, or Tentacle Slam, I think passive might be Slam. E is Test of Spirit, everybody knows that because that's the frustrating ability. And then the ultimate is Leap of Faith.
Leap of Faith. I'm a huge fan of that ability name.
Yeah.
I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. That's what you do when you jump off a building into the.
Oh yeah.
That's how I remembered it when she first came out. But with that being said, Ratchet, actually getting hit by the tip of the Ahri Q there. As Flame goes for yet another trade, gets the stun off and Basting, going to respond in kind with a slam. And they're both sitting at about a third, a little over third, looking at maybe regenning to half HP here. Both top laners just fist fighting constantly, with junglers resetting and heading towards hovering that mid lane. Xin Zhao has an angle here, maybe.
We got some support roams, although I believe Koyash was spotted by a Raptor ward there. It's going to be sussed out. We still have Renku on the side, looking for a
Top side
gank.
here. We've got Furry Little Feet walking in, going for the Q, gets the second auto, goes for the W to get first blood, and Basting not going to be off to the same kind of start that he was last game. Ratchet getting harassed in this mid lane as well. Ari reaching these charms at just the right lane.
Great gank in the top side there. It's going to force Basing to use the teleport. Of course, they did not flash there. They knew they were dead to rights. They were on the wrong side of the map anyways, so nowhere to go. And, yeah, this is what you want to do against the Alawi. Get some early jungle help. Oh my. So, fun fact, the deadline to sign up was yesterday, so we did kind of just debate the viewers, but hey, a little bit of advertisement to, I guess, tune into that or sign up next time it comes around, because 10 smackaroos, not a lot.
Maybe if you ask really nice now. Furry Little Feet going for the gank here, top again. Flame getting the slice and the dice. Basing being forced to flash, though, is going to get the Test of Spirit, try to fight back onto Furry Little Feet. Furry Little Feet going to be forced to walk away. Dory. Basing.
You don't have ulti here.
Back here, Toomey, though,
Oh, you got
the
the
charm
ultis.
is going to land the charm, but nothing going to come from it. Forced to use the Spirit Rush to get away because of no mana. You can see Ratchet there was rotating to follow.
Yeah, you saw the thought process there, but Basing not having a leap of faith there as this Alawi means they just drop there, because the leap of faith is just such a huge boost for Alawi. I mean, obviously, most champions, when they get their ultimate, you're like, yeah, that's a huge boost in power, but especially for Alawi, it is the sole reason why she's able to just so easily do 1v2s, 1v3s, and not having access to that tool, not having access to be able to just constantly pop people's tentacles and heal off of them. Easy just kind of drop there like a sucker.
Yeah, and look at Renekton getting the rotation off onto the... Just like clockwork, 6 minutes, Drake's up, Grubs are up, Sun and Stars trying to go for this gank mid, Ratchet gonna barely escape with his life. But Dragon for Grubs yet again. Let's have that that all-important discussion. Which is better for which team this game?
Let's go. I mean, at least for like Dragon versus Grubs, it's kind of pretty simple all around. Grubs, you already know what they do. Like, it helps you push turrets. Nice little boost early, because if you're able to push in lanes, you know, it helps you get plates more easily. Dragons is like technically a little bit more complicated, but what one Masters player, Miyamo Big D, or MLBD, once told me is that basically you look at Dragons like this. You like it if you're a scaling team because it lets you hit your breakpoints earlier. But if you're a more early game team, you like Dragons because they let you cheat out some extra scaling. I was like, wow, thank you. That's a very nice just bullet point list of how to conceptualize Dragons.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. And oh my god, look at Blue Buff just... Furry Little Feet. The Xin Zhao must not have a huge mana pool. Did you see how fast that was going up in blue?
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't looking, but yeah, a lot of jugglers just kind of have like really bad mana pools or really bad like mana cost issues because they just bounce around the fact, yeah, you're doing jungle, you're just constantly getting a bunch of mana back from camps.
You see Toomey dodging out these E's from Ratchet. Really well played, and you got a 10 CS lead for Toomey. Looking a lot like last game. Granted, the charms were not landing early last game either, and then just like a few hugely pivotal ones in the mid game were all that he needed.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not as good of charm targets this time around. It's really mostly Idris, but any charm target who would need a target.
That was Chain of Corruption being used as well there. Ari not getting the charm, forcing Koyash's flash out as the chompers come down.
Ooh.
Eldree's trying to do some damage, but Renku arrives, not going to go for the follow-up onto the Q, and that's going to be Flame also taking trades up here with Basting.
Yep. Yeah, top lane should just be constantly trading. That is kind of an Alawi lane unless you're just playing super passive ranged under turret. In which case, it's only sometimes trading, but we have a potential counter gank in the bot side for Feet is in the area.
Yeah, so we have a fair amount of information going into this gank too. Silas still hasn't really shown up on any wards, so I think they're giving up on the play just off the fact that it's taking too long. Ari gets the push, and Silas is forced to come back and receive the wave. So they're just playing this game of back and forth. Each mid laner is just taking turns, pushing the wave, and then responding with a rotation towards bot side, just saying, hey, don't fall asleep. This could happen.
Yeah, no sleeping at the wheel. The wheel, of course, being playing League of Legends. Definitely a metaphor of all time, but hey.
Look at this, though. Ooh, the Q does land onto furry little feet, but Ratchet does have the dragon kick. The Dragon's Rage, the whatever the hell Lee Sin's Q ult is called.
So Q with the Resonating Strike.
Yeah,
An
no,
ultimate
he took the ultimate. But both of them kick each other into the Ari charm attempt. Doesn't actually land here. Ratchet does survive, but furry little feet is going to have to walk out of his own jungle as Toomey gets priority on this mid lane yet again, and bot lane rotates off of a pretty neutral wave state here.
Yep. And Toomey, he's going to be happy auto-attacking this turret, maybe looking to grab an extra plate here before backing. Decent CS lead as the R, you know, about 20 CS up. Will be recuperating a bit. I'll hold that thought. That should be a kill.
Yeah, that's going to be a kill right down onto basting for Flame here. Getting that ultimate off to just kind of burn him alive. And now Eldry is being forced to back into his own tower while Ari gets pushed yet again. And this is a very different story this game, as we see actually Alawi has all 3 of the kills in the game. Deaths in the game.
A little unfortunate. Does also mean that the quintuple grubby gun go over once again this game. Akuma did give that up last game and still won. You know, is not an end of the world buff, we all know, but is an obnoxious buff to deal with because it's like, oh, you got 1 mile team fight win? Well, I guess our turret falls even faster now.
Now, we talked about Alawi being problematic. As we get ready for this dragon, we might have to cut into a team fight here as the teleport comes out, but maybe they're just going to give it. It looks like they kind of want to just give it, like Rakan's channeling base. Anyways, we kind of talked about how this Alawi was potentially a really dangerous pick, and Alawi was kind of going to be the focus of this game. But as we see Alawi going down 0-3, losing complete control of this lane, like potentially losing control of this lane to Renekton at any moment, he finishes the Eclipse. How problematic is it if you're Akuma and you have an Alawi that's this far behind?
It's not super problematic for Elysium anymore. For Akuma, though, yeah, it's definitely problematic because an 0-3 Alawi this far behind, you still can make things happen. You still can be an absolute pest in these side lanes. Like, this takes one tested spirit and a little bit of leg work, but I'll hold that thought. Leap of Faith is available for the dive.
But at the same time, we actually have Ari with Spirit Rush coming out. The response, though, from Ratchet is to land the stun with the chains. And Flame here. Koyesh going with the grand entrance to secure that kill there. Flame, yet again, getting a kill onto basting. This could be a huge problem. Oh, actually, it looks like Furry Little Feet picked up that kill with a W or something.
Wow, okay. I mean, still, you're putting this Allow even further behind. Just sitting on a Tumbler and Caulfields here. There's Renekton for Flame. It's now 4 plates in the bank. Might be first turret eventually here. They kind of run out of minions.
Yeah.
You probably want to back here.
Do you see that response TP coming out for?
Oh, mistimed.
So unlucky. But Elysium still managing to secure the kill. Ratchet managed to get over the wall, and that is going to be another kill going over to Elysium. That's going to be a 5-0 first tower and a 2,000 gold lead at 13 minutes for Elysium. Looking a lot different than last game so far.
Yeah.
He's going to go down.
100%. Oh, that's got to be such a stinger too. Mistiming the Chains of Corruption there. That's just going to give free farm over to this Jinx for Idris. Having a ball of a game. Any game where you get a free farm as Jinx, never mind.
Ooh, the reverse Spirit Rush. Ratchet going to try to run down Toomey here. Has one more proc of it from what I see. And that is going to be it. Waiting on the chain cooldown. W goes just a little bit wide. Toomey trying to survive as long as he can, but now the ultimate comes down. Furry Little Feet going to help secure that kill. And Ratchet gets one more proc of Spirit Rush off of that. Looks like that's going to turn into a Rift Herald here for Elysium.
Just keep the objectives on piling up here for Elysium. They got to be feeling it fine and dandy, of course. Kind of similar to last game in the sense that they did get all 6 grubs. They did get the first Rift Herald. They did get first turn, I forget. But much different this time around. It is 7-0. Got a pretty decent lead here. This Alawi, that was the R5 counter pick, you have managed to shut down. Put 6 feet under by every single metric. Like, you have a full item up on your top laner here. This Alawi, not really going to be too much of a factor for the time being.
Yeah, this bot lane has been kind of a quiet story this game. Like, yes, Varus has died to one gank. They're both sitting on one item here. Looking at a Bork, which should be pretty useful against the amount of HP stackers that they're showing on the side of Elysium. But Rathu has a lot of work to get done if they want to be as effective at carrying as they were last game.
Yeah, it is really quite the time here. Of course, you have Blade of the Ruin King now as this on-hit Varus. That is already a pretty huge spike in of itself. Giving you all that extra attack speed. And just so much health shred here. It's not like there's any super tanks on the enemy team. The front line is building health here. You know, it's the Cleaver. It's a Sundered Divine. You know, that's all health. And health is something that Blade of the Ruin King does very well against. And hard-hitting analysis here, but either way, though, we'll be able to put out some decent damage. The question is, will he be able to survive long enough here? Because there's quite a bit of dive from Elysium.
Yeah, we were saying, like, both teams functionally are a lot better moving forward. I think there's, like, backwards play options for Akuma, but they definitely just want to go forward. As the ultimate actually comes out here, Flame just going to go for the all-in, but the Leap of Faith comes down.
Yeah.
It's not going to be enough, as Renekton is on a killing spree, and Alawi just... Sundered Sky versus 2-item Renekton is just not going to work out for you.
I don't think the Sundered Sky is even completed there. It's still just components, like... Especially since he missed the Testus Spirit on that play. Like, as soon as that missed, we saw Flame just know, oh, okay.
The Charm actually lands here. Lee Sin, Renku is going low. Oh, he has to flash, but still takes the damage from the ultimate as Ratchet completes the kill. He's on a killing spree, and Sun and Stars being forced away. Toomey dodging out the quickness just enough to survive here. Koyesh almost secures yet another kill, but that is going to be the first dragon, third dragon of the game, going over to Elysium. They don't really care that much about the first 2 Drakes, as they're staring down the potential of 4 Infernal Drakes this game go.
I mean, they have a massive lead here anyways, so... Oh.
We actually are going to see...
another one.
Opposite side kills. Silas securing a kill as well. Rathu trying to survive as long as he can, is going to take down Koyesh in response. First kill going down for Akuma. Sabers, but Flame going to try to secure the final kill. Slice and Dice goes down, gets the W, walks out, but Renku trying to finish up the play, but that is a 4-level disadvantage, and Slice and Dice instantly takes down Lee Sin. Triple kill going over for the Renekton. Whew, Akuma, we are going to the drawing board, and this is a series.
Yeah. And bot lane, we saw Toomey die there in a what?
Huh? Okay,
first world problems, I guess.
Just trying to
Definitely an over-eager Herald channel there. Not gonna lie, because that turret was already guaranteed to drop. But suffering from success here, the turret dies before the Herald lands. You got this 7k gold lead. You stop the dragon stacking. You've stopped the counter pick in the top lane here. All of your carries are basically ahead here, except for Adrees, you know, only sitting on 0, 0, and 2. But you look at the top side here, 6-0, 3-0, 4-0. He'll take that.
We actually see Koyesh getting just a little bit of vision here, as we're looking at about an 8,000 gold lead on the side of Elysium now. This is going to be quite the uphill battle if Akuma wants to regain control of the game.
Yeah, like, it's not just going to be getting some big shutdowns. Like, they're going to have to get more juice in the tank. Like, you get the big shutdowns, okay. That gets you on shouting distance here in this game. But You're gonna need to be able to grab some turrets here. You're gonna need to be able to maybe grab a dragon here to put yourself on soul point to at least give you that extra threat in the bank here. Because right now, you don't have anybody winning. It is a single kill right now. Oh, could be two.
They actually have flash coming out from Rathu in response. They're going to try to make the return play. HP bars are going down, but Flame going to become godlike as he teleports into the play. Koyash going for the quickness, is barely going to survive. No, he's not. Tower is going to go down, but Eldrees is already popping off. Has the excited proc finally. In this entire game, we've been talking about how fed Flame is, but we've got an ADC Jinx just getting to farm up for free, while the opposite side of the map is just a disaster for Akuma.
I mean, all fronts are a disaster right now for Akuma, which is kind of shocking after that game number 1 where things were so even, and then Akuma just was able to pull ahead thanks to some slightly better macros and nice picks here and there. And eventually led them to just finish off the game at 29 minutes. Not the case this time around. Now they're the ones 6 feet under when it comes to the goal disadvantage.
And at this point, we're kind of talking about next game, right? Like, it might be worth talking about what worked, what didn't work. Do we think the Alawi is a problem, or do we think that it was how Basting played the lane that made him susceptible to ganks? Or we just think the champion's more problematic here?
I don't know. Because I think a lot of it was just the fact that they were able to hard pressure top here for Elysium and just make sure Alawi's a non-factor this game. Because we saw early on the trades, Basting was showing signs of that Alawi, and
we actually have the Super Mega Death Rocket coming down to do just a little bit more damage. Rathu is still alive. Now. Shutdown going down onto Xin here. Renku gets the second proc of the Q, and Eldrees Koyash forced to walk away here. Shutdown for Akuma onto the Xin here.
Yep. I mean, it's not like you give up anything for it here on the map, at least. You did have to give up cooldowns, but you'll take that here. The nice little shutdown. Of course, the big shutdown in the room is on Flame right now. You want that going on to one of your carries, but hey, you got 3 kills now on the Sabers. Happy about that. You finally got a kill. You reset the gold value of Basting. See what you can do to stabilize here. Dragon's up pretty soon. Of course, Baron's still on the table. And it is going to be hard for you to contest either. That was just a 400 gold shutdown there, 700 kill total. And you're still down about 8 kills. But it feels nice.
It looks like that kill went over to Rathu, who was relatively quiet on the Saber last game until he really didn't want to be anymore, and then he popped off just to close the game out there. We got to be the initiator of that Baron play, using the teleport from Toomey to make that work. But this game, 3-3-1. He's sitting on over 200 CS, has more CS than anyone else in the game, and he has potential to carry if he can be protected long enough. Now, that is the big concern.
This isn't being snuffed out, it looks like, because they dodged a vision from the Scuttle Crab there, buying a bunch of time in the mid lane. This Baron is down below half. They're not doing it the fastest because they're this far behind, and it gives enough time for a 50-50 to be forced. Mega Death Rocket not going to hit. Quickness going to be popped. I think it is stolen. No, it is claimed by the support Kench.
Yeah, and that is going to be Toomey and Kench escaping here. Rathu is going to escape as well. Looks like they traded just Lee Sin for a Baron, and that might be exactly what they need to slow this game down, get themselves into a position where they can fight back. But the longer this game goes, you've got a Jinx just waiting to pop off.
Yeah. And that's not something you want to deal with here. That's a bit of a no bueno, as we say in the biz. But you got this Baron buff here, and that's going to give you some very nice time to stabilize here. You can already see the Baron buff minions making things a little bit harder to push in. Of course, you can just look for the fight 5-4.
But look at the back here. Toomey being forced to flash out, barely survives here. The W is not going to secure the kill. Does the ticking damage from the red buff kill or no? No, it doesn't. Furry Little Feet being forced to use the ultimate to get away here, but Sun and Star is going to chase them down. Koyash still alive onto the side here, but not for too much long. Rathu does survive though. Flame trying to tank up as much as he can, has the Dominus proc, is very barely going to survive. But no,
Oh,
Toomey
that's a
actually on the
touchdown.
flank hits the charm, doesn't hit the charm. I lied. That was just an orb of deception to finish it off. He's going to use Spirit Rush to come over the wall here, but Jinx running for her life on the other side of the map. And suddenly, this lead for Elysium is just slowly starting to fall apart. Does Toomey have the charm that he needs? No,
Oh.
Koyesh going to live just a little bit longer. Good flash over the wall. How much longer can he survive this play? Uses the grand entrance to escape over the wall, but that's going to be a Baron up team. That's a Baroned up Akuma Sabers coming down the middle lane here.
Yeah. And this is exactly what you wanted. They got all the shutdowns they wanted in the world there. They're able to get a turret off the back of that as well. Stall out this game. Bring it within shouting distance. Now it's only almost 3.5k separating these two teams, but 3.5k diff at 24.5 minutes. That's not a lot, in all honesty here, Dorian. Got to give him much better footing going into the next dragon.
Yeah, with 2.5 minutes on that, we're going to start seeing setup occurring here soon. And with Rathu being able to just pretty easily farm, it sounds weird to be like, yeah, inhibitor's down. It's a good thing. It's constant wave being pushed into your mid lane that you can pretty much recover as a team to take the objective. And it's a lot of gold that you can get, a lot of farm, a lot of XP that you can get onto Toomey and Rathu here to turn these fights like they have been for the last couple minutes.
Of course, you are still technically down on the gold here. There's still the ticking time bomb of the Jinx, and you have that mid in him down.
And you have Toomey almost getting caught here, having to use Spirit Rush to escape. Does still have a charge of it. Yep, nope, gone.
Yeah. Yeah, the fight is already over by that point, so you got out. That's what you wanted here. Ooh. Okay. Curious if we've hit the break point here for the 1v1. Even though you are still down a full item as this Alawi, like, you're at 2 items now on Alawi. You are super obnoxious, and maybe that gives you a fighting chance here, because Renekton does fall off a little bit as the game goes on. You know, not as hard as a fall off as it used to be in previous seasons. We still notice the drop.
Yeah, and as we actually see the Dominus getting procced, the Leap of Faith in response going to be used here. Look at her kite around.
Could be it.
Yeah, this is it. You're an item down, still even on levels. Flame being forced to flash away in the middle of his Dominus. This is that point where Alawi is a problem. Resonating Strike going to land onto Furry Little Feet. He knows he's in the bush here, not going to fall for that. But Renekton trying to fight with a complete item advantage is losing to this Alawi now.
Yeah, that's with the Test of Spirit missing there initially from Basting as well. So Alawi's definitely online. Maybe not online enough to just be a huge team fight turnaround here, because 2.5 items, you're probably getting melted pretty quickly if it's 3 to 5 people focus firing you. But I mean, you'll take that, because that also gets a flash out of Flame. And Renekton without flash in team fights is very noticeable, because you don't have minions to just dash off of. Oh, going on in.
We actually see the quickness go out, but the grand entrance doesn't actually land to make it work.
Never mind,
so
this
the
is
charm
4v5.
comes out, and this is actually a 4v5 that they are winning from the side of Akuma. Whatever lead Elysium had, they're just slowly throwing it away by missing these engages. In the meantime, look at this top lane. Alawi just takes the turret, and now suddenly you have Akuma able to get priority over the dragon. W comes over the wall. The flash charm comes out from Toomey to help Rathu go onto a rampage. And the response is going to be the Chain of Corruption from Ratchet being stolen from Rathu. The Super Mega Death Rocket in response, but take a look at Flame, gets the flank off here. Are we going to see Alawi TP in, or is
It's the
Alawi
Croc
gonna be
versus
late?
the
No,
world.
Alawi does come in. Alawi's on her way, and Sun and Stars gets the Lee Sin out. But Toomey trying to get the response here. Is Jinx going to be able to kite out the fight? Yes, he is. Jinx is still alive here, basting off to the side though. Gets the Test of Spirit onto the Jinx. Jinx going to be forced to run away. Hit that.
Ooh, looking to pick off some members here.
Ratchet, no. Ratchet was waiting to see if he could get somebody, but in response to the play that just occurred, Toomey has teleport and is going to get priority over this river here. Does Toomey look for the flank, though?
Toomey does not have Spirit Rush still, and that dragon has reset. You can see 2 members here actually might be a little caught in the bot lane. Stolen Dragon's Rage.
Ratchet using Dragon's Rage here. Resonating Strike lands onto Ratchet, but Renku getting a little
Big
overzealous. Sun and Stars does have access to the gray health to survive just a little bit longer, but double kill going over to the Renekton. Toomey trying to fight it out here with Dominus charging. Shutdown actually goes onto the Renekton. Basting uses the Test of Spirit, uses
On
the
slam.
ultimate here, but Furry Little Feet trying to create as much space as he can. He gets instantly deleted by Toomey and Rathu, getting that Blighted Stacks proc, and now after another set of skirmishes, we have only a 100 gold lead for Elysium that is about to completely disappear as we get onto Soul Point for Akuma, turning this game that looked pretty doomed 10 minutes ago into an absolutely winnable one.
Yeah, huge props to Akuma there, because, like you said, I think we were both counting them out here. I thought, okay, this is guaranteed to go game number 4 in this series, but quite the contrary, this could actually be the match point game here if they keep this juice up. Yes, those were 2 good kills picked up by Elysian in the bot lane there, and they thought they had the juice tech there. However, just due to the fact that people were able to respond on Akuma, and they still had to deal with the 2 members coming up from that dragon pit there, just means things go south for them really quickly. And now it's Soul Point as well as potentially Baron on the table. It is 5v5 though if this does occur, and there is 3 items now on this Adrees Jinx. That is very scary. You don't have anyone that can actually just face tank a Jinx on this comp.
Yeah, and Jinx is very close to absolutely popping off in these last couple fights. As we approach getting river control here, we see that the inhibitor is back up in the mid lane, so we're getting a push out from Flame that could be responded to here in kind. Akuma going as a team, Basting trying to use that flank and that vision control to prevent anything, but Toomey using the Spirit Rush to try to start something here. Koyesh, grand entrance to avoid the charm, as now suddenly we have Akuma rotating into the Barrenside River here.
At the Spirit Rush, that is going to be notable. That was a huge pick tool here, because I did mention before, it is a little bit hard for this Akuma comp to reliably get on top of Adrees Jinx. Unless the Adrees missteps here, and you land one of your skill shots. You are relying on a misstep, you are relying on a skill shot as well, but we might just see the flank, we might just see the team fight.
Misstep there. Rathu, though, being repositioned and killing Koyesh on the flank here. Sun and Stars using that ultimate wonderfully here as Eldrees dies in the backside. Basting, managing to 1v2 these guys. Very Little Feet trying to survive for just a little bit longer, but that is a quadra kill going over to Rathu, and that Tom Kench ultimate was absolutely pivotal for this team fight.
Yeah, beautiful flank there as well from Akuma. I don't think this is going to be the game, though. You can see 20 seconds for the ADC to come back for Adrees and the others to follow suit very soon. 100% though, going to be the Baron. 100% going to be some pressure on this mid lane turret. I don't think the Baron buff falls in or pops in time here to take this mid turret. We'll see. You do have Lich Bane here. You do have Demolish. Okay, you got the turret. I think you shimmy out of this one here.
And now we actually see both teams getting mid inhibitor, but we have a Baron advantage going over to Akuma. 3 dragons with Dragon coming up in 2 minutes. Jinx gonna be able to do exactly what we talked about Varus doing now, though, and collecting some of that farm. This dragon could be the biggest fight of the game here. It might be the deciding fight of the game here, Go.
Still got a minute 50 till that, of course, so definitely going to see some turtling here from Elysium while they farm up. They want to stall out as much of this Baron buff as possible here. If you're able to just play the wave clear game, able to make sure these Baron buff minions aren't crashing in your base here, that's good. If you're able to get this pick here bot, this is actually good.
Oh, Chain of Corruption landing, but the other one goes wide, and that's a shutdown onto Rathu here. Teleport coming out from Toomey. Can Toomey get the return kill here? Lands onto Koyesh, but not onto Ratchet. Ratchet surviving for a little bit longer. Gonna ultimate out by Sun and Stars to avoid the kill here as the charm lands. Koyesh can barely survive. Sun and Stars, though, is gonna go down in response. Take a look at Alawi on the top side, though. Alawi on the opposite side of the map, trying to get this push down here. Basting looking pretty strong, and Ari gonna be forced to channel base here.
Yep. Ooh, it's going to force the TP, actually, because this is a Demolish proc. And now, Renko in a bit of danger.
Yeah, but Basting trying to take the fight here, has the Test of Spirit available if she wants to go for it. Flame taking the trade though, doesn't have access to Dominus actually, so this is just a one fight for Basting. Koyesh barely able to survive, has to run for his life, and at this point they can try to fight this dragon because you have a Baroned up Alawi with 2 cannon waves pushing your base down. You have to send multiple people's response.
Oh, and land the test.
Infernal Soul coming up, Test of Spirit coming down, and Flame gonna barely survive. Ratchet getting the reset, and that's gonna be a 1,000 gold shutdown going over to Ratchet. But now you have Akuma on the other side of the map rotating towards Baron. Can Elysium respond in kind and get over in time?
You have your jungler here. You will be able to get the rotatos in time. Yeah, it's going to be close because they had to use a lot in that top side. TP coming out here. This should just be a pure 50-50 unless you're able to get very little feet to pop the ultimate very quickly. And Soul's already down.
Securing the Infernal Dragon though. Spirit Rush coming out, very little feet surviving onto the front line here for as long as he can. Eldre's not being hit at all here. Test of Spirit.
Oh, here's the flank.
Test of Spirit's not available. Grand Entrance coming out here with Ratchet onto the side. Has Spirit Rush. He's trying to reposition
Jinx
here.
is getting excited.
Alive, but look at Toomey going untouched here. Jinx not going to be able to survive all by herself. Is trying to get the resets one more time. The flash comes out. The charm misses. Summon Star is repositioning with the ultimate. Eldre's gets hit by the resonating strike, and that's going to be an ace for Akuma Sabers. And that is Baron, Soul, and an ace for Akuma Sabers. It looks like they might be going for the end here.
And Sun and Stan just flexing on them there with the emote spam there. Okay, dance spam. And yeah, I think this is game. You got supers here, crashing in the mid lane. You got... Okay, there's a Rakan up here for Koyesh right now, but what's a Rakan going to do against Demolished Park, against all these members, and an Infernal Soul? Akuma from the Jaws of Defeat, able to bring this one. They are so baroque. And now we're on match point already, Dory.
Yeah, and I mean, what do you do if you're in this situation? You had an absolutely monumental lead, and you just lost it from the side of Elysium. This has got to be a demoralizing moment for these guys.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge mental boom. You're just gonna have to brush it off going to the next game and remember, like, there was a reason why you got that absolutely massive 8k gold lead that the enemy team had to claw back from. You just gotta, clean up things a little bit there in the later stage, not give over those huge shutdowns, not let them be able to sneak that Baron, because if they don't sneak that Baron to stabilize the game there, even if they get the big shutdowns, like, you grab the Baron for yourself and you just look to end the game.
Yeah, but, I mean, at this point, we're looking at match point over for Akuma, and side selection, yet again, for Elysium. If you were Elysium Go, what would the game plan be going forward? What are we doing in draft? How are we securing ourselves a win?
I mean, I like this draft from Elysium, honestly. Like, the biggest issue was, of course, just kind of that one Baron mishap there that let the enemy team stabilize. But other than that, you're kind of running the early game. Your top side completely dominated. Everybody had kills. The biggest thing is maybe you wanted Drees to get some early kills as that Jinx. Just sitting 0-0-2 in mid game, that was pretty decent, but if that was like, maybe say instead of 4-0-2 Jinx, maybe you're completely just blowing out the team fights there. Maybe you're able to get some of those resets there, because that Jinx very close to just doing the reset mania in some of those fights that are very pivotal to this game. So maybe that's the call. Either way, though, I like the drafting here from Elysium, and they played the early game quite well.
So yeah, sounds about right. If they want to claw themselves back and aim for a reverse sweep, Elysium needs to start right here, right now. Akuma going on match point. Let's see if we're going to crown champions this next game, or if we're going to take it the distance. We'll see you soon.
Cry, I can't even try anyway. Well, you got 'em back, but then you had to pay. When you had the answer and you were there alone, you left the door unopened when you knew that you would want more. Give it up, give it up, give it away. While you were barely aware, you learned that day. Cut off so much, hardly remained. While you knew that there was still a way. This is your only plan. Oh, now this is your only. Now this is your only plan. Oh, now this is yours. And you're right. You force it to yield. You forge it to the lines. You let your callous be your shield, and everyone will say that it all was finished years ago, but you will stay, and you won't ever let it go. When you had the answer and you were there alone, you left the door unopened when you knew that you would want more. Then again you found the answer and you were there alone. You left the door unopened when you knew that you would want more. When you had the answer and you were there alone, you left the door unopened when you knew that you would want more. Then again you found the answer and you were there alone. You left the door unopened when you knew that you would want more.
We're back for game 3. It looks like Elysium's gonna stick to the plan. Draft is looking much the same as last time so far.
Yep. We'll see. So far, okay, yeah, that is definitely the same as last time. I mean, I don't think too much is going to change in draft. Maybe Elysium changes the vibe band for something else potentially, but I mean, I'd be fine if Elysium just does a run back here of their first 3 picks. In all honesty, like first pick the Jinx if you want to. Could instead do the Varus, since Varus could be considered higher prio. Can let you force a lot of things in the bot lane, but honestly, if you just block in the same 3, the Shinzao, the Jinx, and the Silas, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, really awkward time for you to leave, Drew. Someone says, "Wait, Elysium lost." I left for 5 minutes. But draft is looking a lot the same. You've got a Jinx. Do you think that you worry about having 4 like, if it wasn't execution based, if there's absolutely anything about your composition you can do differently, could it be like adding a secondary range threat, maybe?
It could be, maybe. The question is, where would you put that extra range threat? It'd probably have to be in the mid lane here, because there's not really any meta viable range top laners you can do. We've been seeing much more TF range top. Okay, Lucian.
Do we see Nami?
I hope not. I don't.
It's probably
Because someone did the math, and Lucian plus Nami is actually like one of his kind of weaker pairings, funnily enough. Kind of want to see what's something a little bit more aggressive. Melio, that's a pretty damn good combo with the Lucian, because just being able to get that extra range helps you with trades a lot.
Yeah.
This is going to be a different story, though. Yeah.
You see the Ahri locked in, though, alongside Lucian yet again. Is Akuma going to go for the 3-peat? We keep joking about it, but Toomey keeps having these, like, these lanes that are pretty no charms hit, nothing really happening, and then just out of nowhere, Toomey's like popping off in these team fights.
Yeah. Gonna be responded to this time with the Vex. Not something we see too often, in all honesty. Ever since her initial release kind of got tapped down in power. Doesn't really have the burst to finish off a lot of people. We'll see if there's enough burst this game. Against Ahri, against Lucian, those are definitely two targets you can just pop on down, but are very slippery to get on top. It's going to be the Viego instead of the jungler here for Elysium. So a very greedy jungler, and you have a kind of greedy ADC. That might be a little bit of an issue here. Of course, Vex not the most econ demanding mid laner, so don't have to worry about it too much so far. Question is, if you lock in, say, a resource intensive top laner, maybe that strains draft a little bit here. We'll see.
And just like I said, it looks like we're gonna have a Nami, but you know what? I'm on Team Go Farina. I think that Emilio would have been dope here, and it definitely helps with, like, I don't know. I think about lane a lot in terms of like the effective range of the ADCs. I was really scared that Jinx was gonna just be able to free fire last game, and I'm kind of afraid of her being able to do it again if Elysium can shore up their front line and give her good protection tools.
Yeah. So far, though, I mean, Vex kind of does a little bit of protection. Viego obviously won't be giving this Jinx any protection unless you happen to possess the enemy Nami. Then the big question is, what do we see come out in the support role?
Exactly. And I mean, we see a Blitzcrank ban. It kind of looks like Akuma's worried about them going a little aggro in lane, or just like direct countering Nami, worst Nami counter. And then we see actually another Olaf ban.
Okay, nothing too surprising there. Of course, so last time around we did see two Cassante counterpick bans taken off. This time, though, that won't be the case since Sojourner being hovered. That would be very potent engage here. And I think it does well into the Viego. I haven't seen this matchup too much. I don't know like the exact specificities, but obviously you are a fat blob. You're able to just hop on top of the Viego and just stay on top of him. And if you happen to CC a Viego before he can get the last embrace off to get those resets, and if you mind that, that's a bit of a little out of left field here.
Last second pivot onto the Nocturne. What are we going to see in the top lane? Do they think that they're getting a good matchup for like the Shen or the Ornn? Cassante's still on the table, but Elysium gets 2 picks before.
Yeah, I don't know. Because the Nocturne, right now, your only dive buddy is Ahri. This kind of guarantees you really, really have to pick something that is kind of frontlining in top lane. Thankfully, I mean, basically all meta top laners are able to frontline in some capacity. It's been some time since we've seen like a full-on squishy top laner. With the Cassante pick. I don't know. This Nocturne just feels kind of out of left field. It does give your team a lot of just single target. Let's get his ass here. Okay.
Okay. Go. Turd
This
ass.
kind of screams lane swap.
Oh,
Okay.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, that's actually some friend line. Thank God.
So we actually see Zac getting locked in here in the end. They did ban Zac last game in the top lane ban rotations alongside the Cassante, and Cassante being picked here. I've heard a lot about Zac top lately, and I personally think that it kind of fills a similar niche to like that Rek'Sai top thing that was going on for a while some patches ago, where you just kind of like, you don't win, you just kind of never lose.
Kind of. Zac's able to do some more damage, and you're able to actually contest the blobs. Unlike Rek'Sai, who could stack up her passive and then just heal up like 10 to 15% of her health bar. That was a nightmare to deal with, and you couldn't really interact with it. Zac, you can at least interact with a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely different. How it goes into the Asante, I don't know. Kind of curious if we also see a lane swap this game this time around, because Jinx, Rel, you can put the Jinx in a lane swap situation. With Rel, I don't know. It's a hard call.
Yeah, I mean, Rel Jinx is pretty strong. I am not. I'm not super trusting of it into the Lucian Nami. Like, yeah, Lucian Milio probably would have been a little stronger, but in terms of like playing the lane, there's a lot of poke threat that can't really be responded to for a majority of the lane.
Yeah. That's gonna be kind of tricky too, because you have Viego jungle here who can gank early, but it's not like last game where Elysium had the Shin's out for a little feat. Because Shin's out early ganks miles better than Viego early ganks, because you just land the wind becomes light and then hop onto them. You're doing so much damage and you're able to pop them up with a 3 talent strike. Viego, maybe you land the Maw and then you look for a reset, but it's a little bit tricky. So Elysium, I'm not as hot on their composition this time around. Of course, also with Akuma, that Nocturne, I'm not the most hot on it, but hey, we'll see.
Akuma's comp is weird. I think we saw a jungle hover that got turned into Nocturne that we were fans of. I'm already brain farting on what the initial hover was, but
It's TF.
Oh, it was Sejuani. That was the original.
Oh, right, Sejuani. You're talking about the jungle hover. I thought you said who was hovering to go with the jungle.
Yeah, the TF hover would have been neat. Like, Nocturne TF is a pretty good combo, but then Akuma's comp would have been kind of borked if you didn't go for like something that can so you can go for that like initial Vanguard to pair with Nocturne to give Nocturne the instant I'm dead ultimate. So I don't know, I'm actually a fan of Elysium's comp this time around. I don't think it has a good AP DPS, but I don't know if you necessarily need it. Like, good burst, good engage prevention, and really good outplay potential from Cassante Viego. Viego has pop-off potential. Jinx has reset potential. Like, I don't know. I think if Elysium has a chance to turn this into a series, this is probably the draft to do it.
Yeah. We'll see if it's different than last game, because last game was also definitely the game to do it, considering they had that 8k gold lead. Then it did sadly go down the drain. I mean, they got that 8k gold lead for a reason. I said it before, I'll say it again. So we'll see if they're able to continue that magic this time around, because Viego does have some pretty decent good scuffling in the jungle early on. We saw and know just how well Cassante can 4,800 stamina you to death, even early on.
So,
Could be a little bit.
Yeah, with that being said, it looks like we're going into the spectator delay for Game 3. Is this going to be the end of our series? Are we going to crown new champions right now? Or are we going to see Elysium mount a very late night for Go and I? See you guys soon.
crowds move closer, but with a deeper sweat. Oh, beneath them we look on. When they part comes the hatred they bring. Lost in the dark, we've come so far. Another step to rid the pain. Go and be counted till your last day. 'Cause only nightmares break their flames. So stand upon these fallen lands and follow in our Father's plans. Yeah, until the end we will remain, and we'll hold on until our last breath. So what is to be left for us? My people look on and say, don't fear what you don't know, 'cause we're far from certain fate. And we'll make our final stand. Lost in the dark, we've come so far. Another step to rid the pain. Go and be counted till your last day. 'Cause only nightmares break their flames. So stand upon these fallen lands and follow in our Father's plans. Yeah, until the end we will remain, and we'll hold on until the last break their flames. So stand upon these fallen lands and follow in our Father's plans. Yeah, until the end we will remain, and we'll hold on until our last
Hello, BOL Diamond fans. We are back for Game 3, and if any of you hadn't seen yet, look at the top of the screen. That is a 2-0 Akuma Sabers going to try and get the clean sweep. Or can Elysium give us a series? Give us a reverse sweep and leave us up super late tonight.
Yeah. Or the more troll thing, they set up for the reverse sweep, then lose game 5. I've had that happen before. It's like, alrighty, they're going the distance. They're looking to make the reverse, and they just lost game 5.
Wah, wah.
Which, I mean, it's still hyped to watch, but considering it starts at 8 p.m. EST for anybody at home as a caster, that does go on pretty long. So,
Yeah, we're already sitting at 10 o'clock EST, 10:19 as we load into this game. Sun and Stars hovering behind Rathu just in the event that they go for a sneaky little late 5-stack, but we're pretty certain at this point that both teams are trying to fan out for these finals.
I'll just take a bit of a chill pill. kind of in the ML series, the most aggression we've seen is late wards from one of the mid laners onto the Raptors. Not gonna see that this game. I don't see anybody's trinkets on cooldown. Just gonna be standard farm fest here. I mean, should also be known about both these junglers. Don't exactly look for the earliest of ganks. Very little feat as of Viego definitely can make something happen early on, but typically they like hitting the level 6. They like hitting the farming points here. Viego loves his items. Nocturne loves their level 6. I actually don't know if Nocturne's like technically no gender or if it's technically a dude. They're vague on that, I think.
Yeah, you kind of get that with a lot of spirits in the lore, huh?
Yeah.
He's technically like I don't even know what he is. Is he a ghost? Is he from the shadow?
I don't think he
Isles or
technically
something? What
has
is he?
lore right now.
Really?
It's like
Interesting.
super vague old lore, I think. I don't know. I haven't kept up with the lore in like almost, actually, over a decade at this point. I stopped reading the lore like 2013, 2014, and now we're in 2024. As it's like they just change it so often, and they had like 2014. All right, we're gonna do that huge lore reunification cleanup thing. We're gonna do that. Things are gonna be so sick, and then they still haven't finished it. It's 2024. They're announcing a new one. Oh yeah, we'll get the Arcane team in to do it. It's like, buddy, you still didn't finish the last one. Why are we gonna trust you to finish this one?
It's funny because the conversation too is like, I know we're not even talking. We're in game 3 of of a series, but we're talking lore because not a lot going on. Viego actually does have an opportunity to try to mount a gank here. Koyash positioning as if he wants to go for the flash QW like flip to try to do something here, but not really gonna happen as Toomey and Ratchet just continue to constantly beat the ever-living crap out of each other. Oh, wait, is that gonna be a kill off for Ratchet? No, Ratchet cancels the auto, and that's first blood going over to Toomey.
Oh my. Retire.
Ratchet.
They're not actually that, but that's what I mean the homies say sometimes when you see kills like that. They're so close. I'll hold that thought because the gank shaping up in the bot lane here.
Yeah, that gank goes off here. Furry Little Feet coming out here, gonna start to charge the W. Sun and Stars being forced to flash away, but the kill is gonna be secured for Eldry is here, and that's gonna be 1-for-1 right off the bat. Furry Little Feet gets out of the turret aggro. Matthew just barely survives until Furry Little Feet gets the fadeaway auto attack to secure that kill, and that's gonna be 2 over to Elysium to match the first blood of Toomey.
Ooh, that is such a huge gank in the bot lane as well. 1-0-1 now on the Jinx. Decidedly ahead in this laning phase, and putting the Lucian Nami combo on the back foot is just so clutch to have when dealing with any potential aggression that could be coming out. Of course, there's still a Ignite here on Wrath. You still have to be very careful, because if one bubble lands here as a Drees, you're probably giving over a kill. Or at the very least, one of your subs.
Yeah, and Basting over here actually kind of bullying Flame right now as the wave slow pushing into him. Has a CS disadvantage though, so Flame taking it on the chin and still managing to stay in an advantageous position, or at least a very minorly advantageous position. But the big talk here, solo kill coming from Toomey, finally getting himself a kill instead of getting all that jungler intervention he's been seeing all game.
It's definitely very nice to have. Of course, it did help that the turret was there to finish off a Ratchet. We take those. We take those. It was so close in that mid lane as well. It could have honestly gone either way. Turret shot being the deciding factor there on that one.
Do you like to change the button for target champions, Oli? Like I feel like it's could be gatekeeping me once in a while. The rare occasion that I accidentally auto the turret instead of the champion.
Yeah. Then you forget to turn it off, and then you can't auto attack a plant. Or you're like me and you just can't auto attack plants in general when we're running away. I don't know what it is with blast cones that just make them so hard to auto attack for me when there's a champion within 2 miles of them.
This time we actually see the dragon go down immediately over to Akuma, and Clay going from basting here, going to heal up as he takes the pressure down onto Cassante here. Ratchet forced to take a really, not a really bad trade, but a disadvantage. Words story. Disadvantageous trade. But yeah, we got a trade for a Rift Herald, not Rift Herald, Grubs, the Grubbins up in the top side here. Yet again, 3 games in a row, Dragon for Grubs, even if it was a little delayed this time around.
Hey, Rinku was on a ward there, but nothing coming of it. So it's still a level 5 Jinx with a recurve bow, so not exactly the highest damage threat.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
see
it's
there
just gonna be that trade.
She goes for the cull.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
gonna
just
chill.
looking to farm it out.
Yeah.
And you got the advantage in this lane thanks to your 1-0-1 scoreline, so hey.
So this is a good position to be Jinx in, right? Because Lucian Nami kind of hit that level 3 spike and didn't completely abuse it because they got ganked, and you're sitting pretty right now if you're Jinx, crashing this wave.
Yeah, definitely feeling fine. You're definitely feeling dandy. Ooh.
Kill not being secured, but the Spirit Rush being used to get away, and Ratchet trying so hard to threaten these kills. Like, even though they gave up first blood, like, it was mostly just to the tower, a little bit of a mechanical misplay, but Ratchet been applying so much pressure this series in lane.
Yeah, I mean, both these mid laners at each other's throats. Definitely feels like Ratchet having the slight upper hand, especially in this game number 3, having the definite upper hand in these trades as of now. See how things changed to me, was able to back here. So now sitting on Lucidity Boots and the Lost Chapter, compared to just the Hextech Alternator. Oh, compared to just the... Come on, purchase.
Amp Tome.
They had that out. Okay,
There's
it's
a
gonna be...
Lost Chapter.
Okay. It's gonna be Lost Chapter versus Lost Chapter. It's gonna be the City Boots differential.
Might have been just short on it because of obviously the first blood and then the Dark Seal being purchased as well. Might have been just a little short.
Yeah. Hey.
Maybe if I click X once in a while, huh? We can't be yawning at each other. What if this goes the distance?
Yeah. That's the thing with casting, though. Just constantly talking this much, it does kind of poop you out a little.
Have the paranoia going down, and Dree is getting absolutely deleted from this universe. Goodbye, my friend. 4 people bot lane. Umi having themselves a great series now.
Just sending in the goon squad there on that one, like, alrighty, they got that one gank, 1-0-1, make it 1-1-1. This is so funny, like, it was so quick too, like, let's get this dude's ass. Their ass was got.
Yeah, just instantly deleted. Like, we didn't even get a chance for the spectators. Oh, no, hang on, we got an ultimate coming down here. Let's bounce, as well as the other thing that Flame is doing with Cassante, trying to stall it out, but no, Cassante has insert the copy pasta here, amount of kill threat. Let's see if he can click on the blobs. No, Basting actually returns the kill.
4,800 stamina, but 0 revive passive, baby.
0 revive passive, Basting proving that Zach is the one that deserves the copy pasta here.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a viable tank, you usually fill out the copy. Okay.
Is he gonna
Wait,
survive?
no way.
No,
Okay,
he's not.
okay.
Koyesh gonna help Very Little Feet secure what little bit of damage he needed to get that kill. A little bit of CC to help make sure Basting doesn't escape, but the damage has been done, Go.
Yeah. He goes, though. 2-0-1, how's this Viego? Oh, yeah, that's going to finish off the Kraken Slayer here. Second legendary item of the Rift completed. Of course, Rathiu able to finish off the first one. Getting that static ship for themselves, but might just be the Goon Squad here once again on the bot side. TP.
Another dive, though. Rathiu just, again, getting the kill, but Ratchet... Oh, no, the flash from Sun and Stars to keep him alive. And Ratchet being forced to run away.
Available.
Spirit Rush. Oh no, they're trading the tower aggro here. Rathiu took one shot of it. The charm comes down. Renku is available. Does he have the paranoia? Not quite yet. The Super Mega Death Rocket! Needle! The threads the needle and manages to kill Sun and Stars. He is going to be spam missing pinging his team after that one there. And all of a sudden, Jinx trying her best to get back in the game while down 30 CS. This good situation has turned into a kind of situation, I guess.
Holy. Yeah, but still, 2 for 1 in the bot lane there. You get out the mid laner's teleport as well. You're feeling nice about that. If you're able to get the kill onto Very Little Feet, that would have been just Nirvana tier. Looking to force a fight here. You got the power advantage. It is 4v4 for now. Not able to steal that, not able to get into the pit. Do we see a follow-up here? No Spirit Rush.
Why? It looks like Toomey was trying to predict that Furry Little Feet was going to run towards Try, but unfortunately not. And then Flame, again, getting bullied here, is going to take a good trade here. Gets the all out through the wall, but not all the way through the wall that he wanted. Did not get the angle he was looking for. Trade is going to switch off of that, but no, Basting pops the Let's Bounce. Paranoia coming down from the bot side. Sunstar's barely alive here, trying to escape from the Viego gang, and he's going to barely survive there. Flame on the other side, no more all-out available, no more Let's Bounce. Basting's passive could be available here, does manage to get the CC onto Basting, or onto Flame here, as he just walks away from the play with the grubs coming back up again.
Seems they're able to get 6 grubs for themselves here for the 3rd time this series, funnily enough, although both the previous games, you could say they got all 6 grubs and lost, but that's just not a causation. That's just correlation, I guess. Exhaust coming out. Stun gonna miss on that full tilt.
And Eldrees, though, gonna get run down by
Oh my.
Culling here. Dodges out, actually, the ultimate, but shutdown going on to... Oh no, the bubble just misses. Can Ratchet finish off the kill? Sun and Stars kiting out as long as he can, so Toomey can arrive. And Ratchet being stuck, lacking a little bit too hard here. The charm is not going to land, but I don't think it's going to matter because Orb of Deception coming down to finish off the kill. And in response, though, on the backside of that, actually the Nami goes down as well. Flame taking a good trade here, has good HP. Basting needs to dodge the Q in order to survive, and he does.
4,800 stamina. The dream. While that was all happening, the grubs did, of course, go down, so it is 6 grubs to 2 dragons. Statistically, it does favor the team with dragons because, you know, it helps you get soul. Yeah, that's true. We're going off of the series. Although someone did the math on Twitter, I think, and found out, like, this was before the grub buffs, but even afterwards, it should still be pretty dragon favored. Oh, okay.
So anyways, we are looking at a 2,000 gold lead in favor of Akuma yet again. So this is the first time they've had a gold lead that was this early, I guess. Because game 1 was pretty even. Game 2, we don't talk about what happened early game in game 2. Game 3, we're looking at a slight gold lead for them. It's pretty large here for the Ari, as we're looking at her sitting on 150 gold shutdown, as well as the Viego, who, despite his team being in kind of like a somewhat even position, is actually ahead himself a decent amount, actually.
Yeah, 2-0 and 1 will do that for you. TP in the bot lane, they're looking for another dive.
Yeah, the Paranoia comes out here, but in response, you're going to see the Magnet Storm. No Magnet Storm here.
Looking for the
reset.
reset.
Renku actually still alive for a little bit longer. For a little feet, going to get the reset in the proc
Oh no, that's
but
a
he's going to pop
disaster.
the ultimate to me. How long can he survive? Not long enough. And Ratchet in response here gets the flank off, and that's going to be a full wipe of this entire bot side double kill for Ratchet to get themselves back in the game and get them a shutdown. Those are shutdowns being taken away from Akuma and putting them firmly in the driver's seat from Elysium.
4 for 2 there. Beautiful, just calling out the dive there, like, already. You guys are going to go for this. You're going to get peppered by turret that's going to let us get resets either on Adrees or on Furry Little Feet. Either way, we are happy. We're doing fine. And Dandy, that is exactly what happens here. They're able to get a bunch more kills, a bunch more resets onto Furry Little Feet. 4-0 and 1. Absolutely massive on this Viego. See what they can do with this lead. Of course, we got Herald up on the Rift right now. They're looking for a gank at the top side against Basting.
And then we're going to channel the W. No, we're not. He's fully well aware of what's going on. But we actually have the collapse coming down. Sun and Stars trying to land the bubbles. Not going to quite land it as we use the elastic slingshot to get range for the Q. Furry Little Feet going to get shut down here. Big 500 gold shutdown, like you said. Going over to... I didn't see who got it. Who got that? Who cares?
I went
Eldrees getting his
to
ass beat.
Basting.
It went to Basting?
Yeah.
Alright, not bad. You can definitely use it as Koyash is going to die on the backside. Toomey going to confirm the kill onto Eldriz. And Akuma said, okay, we're going to fail this dive, but then we're going to immediately make a play that just absolutely continues to push your face into the dirt.
Yeah, and that's right before Dragon spawns 2, so should be able to put yourself on soul point here without too much hassle. The enemy jungler just spawning and Furry Little Feet just passing towards the top side, knowing like, yeah, I don't have any right walking to my bot side jungle right now, and I have more camps to the top side. All out in the top side, however.
Attempted to dodge the all-out using the elastic slingshot to reposition, but the Super Mega Death Rocket going to land onto Basting. Ghost coming out from Flame. Basting still not dead, is actually healing up here as he takes this fight, but Flame gonna land the Q knock-up here. Basting, does Basting have
get the
passive?
blobs.
Funny Little Feet gonna come in. Get the blobs, run away, buddy. Let's see if you can survive. Oh, the flash into the... Oh, the flash into the...
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that one. Holy... That's actually just nay-naying on them.
Flashing into the alcove to give the guaranteed elastic slingshot. That is crazy.
BOL Diamond, baby. Where else will we see plays like this?
But as that happens, we actually have
Alrighty.
Toomey getting taken down. Ratchet landing another ultimate here. Is getting hit by the culling though in response. Rathu trying to finish the kill. Has double boss available. Basting trying to make the play here on the side.
Could be another reset.
Ratchet gonna die to the tower though, but Basting, is he still alive? Gets the elastic sync shot to survive here. But Nami goes down in response as well. And that's gonna be a play in favor of Elysium. They've got this tower pushing now. They've got access to 6 grubs. If they can take this mid tower, they might be able to make a play onto the Rift Herald.
Or just look to get the turret and the Rift Herald here. So bringing this game on back here. A couple more kills, including a shutdown in the mid lane, just off a little bit of a missed position there. This is still anybody's game here. 13-13, so much more action than game number 1, but reminding you a lot of game number 1 with just how even things are going into the Baron territory.
Yeah, it is almost time for Baron. 1838. We don't know if these teams are going to go for this Herald, but at the very least, Sun and Stars is looking at it. It doesn't look like they're going to, though. They might just be prepping Baron, because Renku is just more interested in doing from the enemy bot side.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. He's interested in hitting Paranoia and trying to
Really
take down
boogaloo.
the Vex here. That's a quick little kill.
Yep. Very easy snag there. Super Blast Cone into the mid lane. One of the funny things about Tech Rift, but nothing's going to come of it. Should be Rift Herald pickup here. You got 3 people strong. It's just the bot lane of Rathu and Sun and Stars that might look to contest this, but there's no jungler to smite this. If I'm Rathu and Sun and Stars here, I'm not really looking at this. Yeah, that's not going to be the case.
I'd be looking to just push mid as well, I agree. But we got the bot tower actually going down. No grubs, no problem. Renku and Toomey getting a ton out of that single kill on Vex. That's an inhibitor turret.
Mamma mia, yeah. Whatever, that's definitely...
Oh!
Oh my, the fade away. Oh, should be a 1-for-1.
Flash. The W flash and the ultimate is going to get the 1-for-1, but Furry Little Feet just took over somebody that was incredibly fed. Sun and Star is going to dodge, but for how long are they going to survive? The
coming out.
Being forced out from Toomey in order to make the survival, but at the same time, you've got the all-out going out from Flame. He's taking the fight, Basting, trying to survive as long as he can. Uses the Let's Bounce to try to stay alive just a little bit longer, but you got the entire Elysium squad.
Oh
Another
my.
elastic slingshot
No way.
to escape. And we just are in a situation where we cannot kill Basting, guys. Good trade for Elysium, keeping themselves in the game, but this gold lead did extend itself. Oh no, the ultimate lands! The flash coming out from Renku to try to survive, but he's starting to go down. The bubble lands. Sun and Stars keeping him out. Toomey trying to kite around the fight. Goes for the Orb of Deception. Has more procs of Spirit Rush. Lands the Charm, and Renku going to get a Q off on the backside to try to get a little bit more damage. Spirit Rush going to finish it off, and the red buff is going to finish off the Vex. Going to survive using that red buff.
Oh, wait, that's a big charm.
Oh, that's a huge charm. Rathu getting the shutdown onto Renku, and that is Dragon coming up in 56 seconds. Another positive play for Akuma.
Baron.
Oh, every single time Elysium makes a good play and looks like they're bringing the game back under their control, Akuma just does some absolutely crazy stuff and just takes control of the game back.
Yeah, if this were circa 2021, we would be calling this Morbin, but this is the year of the Lord and Savior 2024. Either way, though, that was very close. Had Furry Little Feet been able to get a reset there in that fight, things could have gone very differently. We saw how low Toomey was. We know how fed this Viego is. That's not the reality we live in, Dory Cave. The reality we live in is that was an absolute smasher of a fight. Might be even more of a smash here.
Ooh, Flame
How far
actually-
pushed up Flame is.
Flame dodging the charm by not dodging the charm. Deciding to channel his W instead and just hold still. Ari tries to make the movement prediction, doesn't work out for him. Spirit Rush being used reactively to avoid Koyash's stun here, and Charm gonna go just a little bit wide. So they are gonna be late into this fight. They do have Baron and they are looking pretty strong here. We'll see if Toomey can survive though. Lands the charm. But actually, two ultimates come down, Magnet Storm as well as the Vex ult come down together, and the Unstoppable from Flame, he's barely staying alive.
Paranoia.
Viego actually being forced out, but Paranoia lands. Vex lands onto Sun and Stars, and he's going to survive for just a little bit longer. Rathu tries to finish off the kill onto Ratchet, and is going to finally finish off the kill onto Ratchet. Furry Little Feet on the other side here. Eldress surviving, gonna try to kill off Basting, and he does. So Furry Little Feet is now basting, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't have the healing Basting has. He doesn't have Let's Bounce available. So Sun and Stars is gonna try to chase down Flame. Give the opportunity to Rathu to finish off this fight. Lands the bubble, but uses the W very well. Flame gonna go down to the culling though in response, and it's gonna be just Eldries facing off against the world here. Baron push available. 20-second death timer, 8 seconds on Ratchet, 1 second on Koyash. He is back. 15 seconds onto the Viego and Flame for just 30. So we're gonna see the inhibitor go down as they rotate onto the teleport from Toomey in the mid lane here. Are they gonna go for this next tower? Are they gonna go for a second set of inhibitor towers? Probably not, but it's definitely a flash from Sun and Stars to not eat the Mega Death Rocket.
Yeah. Could have also healed her. Might have been worried though that the Vex ultimate might have also come out as well. The Glooming Shadow, I think it's called. Something. I haven't memorized the Vex ability name.
Shadow Surge.
Shadow Surge, that's it. Yeah, that sounds like it. I haven't cast too much Vex, funnily enough, so it's like I don't see him enough, and haven't been around long enough where you just kind of casually memorize a lot of names like Lee Sin. Like, okay, I've cast like so many Lee Sin, and my years of casting is like I just know at this point. Okay, it's Resonating Strike. You got Dragon's Rage. There's Tempest and there's Safeguard. Oh, looking for a pick here, looking for a fight.
Shot comes out, not going to get the rest of that, but the Magnet Storm coming out to try to extend the fight. On the backside, we see Ari fighting Koyash. We actually see Basting going down here. Doesn't have the passive, right? Uses Let's Bounce to survive a little bit longer, but it's not going to be long enough. Toomey getting the kill.
Shadow Surge.
Him, and the double kill going out for Renku. Toomey lands the charm, though, off of the next proc that he unlocked, and Ratchet being taken down by the culling. No, he's not going to proc that Zonius for just a little bit longer, but that's going to be a triple kill going over to Renku. And what are we going to do in response here? Does Akuma look for the end, or they look for the towers?
It's probably going to have to be the turrets here, because you still only have 4 members on the map. I didn't even know Herald was popped there. It's like, oh, hi there, Shelly. But, could look to grab the inhibitor turret here. That would be absolutely massive.
Ooh. Nope, it's gonna live.
Minions. Oh, just barely.
Good response, Furry Little Feet. Tower going down in the top side in response, and this game is quickly getting out of control for Elysium.
Yeah, it's also been kind of out of control at this point for quite some time. Like, your Jinx, that's your late game insurance, had that 1-0-1 start, but then just got absolutely hard camped here. Now 2, 6, and 6, barely positive. This is like every fight, Paranoia, Slingshot, maybe a Tidal Wave. And then you just die or have to flash away and do 0 damage. It just does not feel good. Sitting on 2 items, what are you going to do against a 3-item Zac? You don't have any armor pen yet? So how are you going to get through Sunfire plus Thornmail? Not really.
Now, I feel bad for being ignorant about this. Is Lichbane the thing Toomey's been doing this whole series? And is Lich Bane the
Yeah,
thing now?
I don't know the exact math behind it, but I know basically most stars have been doing this. Oh, Magnet Storm gonna hit 1.
Ooh, unfortunately that Magnet Storm is going to be for 0. I think our support might be a little tilted here, but Ratchet getting the return kill. No, he doesn't get the return kill here. Paranoia going down. And it's looking like it might end up being a full ace here. And Elysium just unfortunately getting beat with their wallets. Double kill going over for the Lucian. Furry Little Feet going to try to kite away and proxy the wave to try to stall for as long as he can, but it's not going to matter here. Ace going to go down for Akuma Sabers, and it looks like they're going to go 3-0 and be the champions of our BOL Diamond Division this season. Go for... it was close at some points, but pretty decisive final game there.
Yeah, I mean, game 3 here is pretty close for a large portion of it. It was 13-13 at one point. And now it ends 27 minutes in. Scoreline is 17-30. And the goal deficit just absolutely massive here. It's kind of a statement game here from Akuma.
Yeah, proving that they have the nads to go the distance, I guess. And yeah, you can see Eldry is just completely useless on the Jinx. This game was just so hard camped, and there's nothing you can do about that amount of dive.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it just sucks. Well, what can you do about it? Here's Jinx arcane last name. Not a lot, as we saw. And congrats to Akuma for taking it on home.
Yeah, looking pretty good if you're Akuma here. Akuma was the team that did not make it after the comp ruling, right? Was Akuma already in the finals?
Yeah, Akuma was the one already in the finals, and Elysium was the one who got in after
Okay, that is unfortunate.
starting team got excommunicated.
That is unfortunate for them. They did put up a fight, though. They did their absolute best, and they tried to take advantage of the gift that they were given by the BOL management gods. But honestly, fantastic season for Akuma.
Yeah. Able to come on here in finals. I didn't see the rest of the season. I wasn't able to tune in for a lot of BOL.
That's understandable.
Diamond. But hey, able to take the finals here. That already validates the entire season, so you already know it's fantastic. Taking a 3-0 fashion as well.
Yeah, and with that, of course, you have the tradition at the end of the season. We're going to get into chat and speak with some of the players of your winning Akuma Sabers roster. So hold on real tight. We're going to go to a quick intermission, figure out how to get these folks into call with us, and we will interview our champions here. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody. We are here with champions Matt G and Toomey, the ADC and mid. Matt G, you're the ADC, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
You're Rathiu. You're Rathiu.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, how you guys feeling?
It was good. I mean, a little bit of a snoozer. I know there was a lot of kills in the games, but besides game 2, it kind of felt like we had control the whole time. I don't want to say they're a bad team. They just definitely weren't one of the good ones.
With that being said, so I mean, my first question was going to be about that. What mindset do you put yourself in game 2 when you're down? You were down about 6,500 gold at your worst. What is the mindset at that point in order to mount a comeback like you did?
Well, I guess from like my point of view, we've had scrims against like better teams, where we've come back from worse kind of thing. Even when we're down that amount of gold, it kind of really just takes one play to swing it back in. And our jungler called for the T1 Baron special, so we all just kind of went and
YOLO.
flipped it. And they really wanted that Infernal Drake, I guess, but I don't know if Matt has something else.
I mean, yeah, we are mental warriors. We don't tilt. So it was pretty.
That actually, yeah, that was a big part of the team, like building, was not to tilt. Because once one guy starts tilting, it kind of goes overboard. And I mean, when we have our top laner who's getting camped like that and doesn't lose like mental, I think they were doomed from there. I think.
For sure.
All right, good to have strong mental. My question was kind of more general for the series. What were your guys' like priors when it came to drafting this series? Because we saw Toomey, all 3 games you were put on RE duty. I was curious, was there any special prep, or where you just kind of just wanted to go, hey, you know what, this is comfort, this is meta?
If you look in BOL, I don't know why teams don't look at our match history. I've got a 100% win rate on this champ. Like, I have not lost a game, but they just don't ban it because their mid laner has ego, wants to lock Vex, and solo lose the game level 1. I don't know. Like, it was pretty cringe of them to think that, but I don't know.
It was pretty awkward
Had a
that he
special
like
pick.
queued the auto, or didn't queue the auto, I guess, before
Yeah.
the flash, and then just like autoed the turret.
Yeah.
Because it would have been a 1-for-1. But how do you
Right.
feel the lane? I guess how do you feel the lane would have played out if you had gotten 1-for-1 there instead of getting the kill without it being returned?
Like, I think in the grand scheme of things, mid lane doesn't really matter when you have like a bot lane as volatile as. I mean, and that's kind of what my coach has been hammering into me, is just go play for bot lane. So like every single series we would just shove. So if this guy gets a kill, okay, like he might shove the wave a second faster kind of thing. But I just think he lacked an actual understanding of how mid lane worked, and he did get some roams off in the series, but yeah, I don't know. Playing for Lane Kingdom is really, really bad.
Fair enough.
Hmm. Now you say that, but there was a 4-person dive before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, the paranoia from Nocturne, we were talking about the draft game 3. We thought it was like their best opportunity to come back in the series, but you guys played your draft really well.
Yeah, I'll let Matt take that.
Yeah, we've practiced these picks a decent amount. I feel like it's kind of nothing we picked this series was really too special, other than I think basing a Wowie. So like, I wanted to play my Yasuo, but didn't come to it.
Yeah. Nocturne was a little bit out of left field for me, but I haven't been keeping up with BOL Diamond, so.
It's because our our owner of Akuma Coffee, he's also my brother. He plays Nocturne a lot when he was subbing in for us during scrims,
Oh.
and so like it just always felt like it was so free when we had Nocturne.
For sure.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
In terms of like preparing for like we spoke briefly before coming back live about the circumstances that led us to be streaming right now Saturday instead of Thursday. Obviously we don't need to delve like too much into exactly what happened on the con side of things, but when you heard you had to prepare for Elysium, you heard the date, what kind of changes needed to be made in prep in order to get yourselves to where you were today?
I think Khan and Elysium sort of play a similar style, but obviously Con was better. I think their bot lane, Matt can speak to it a bit more, but I think their bot lane at Con was just like probably 40 times better than these guys. But
Yeah, I think Jed did are much better, but these guys got the gate because the guy was cheating. So
yeah, we were kind of celebrating. We were gonna win
Yeah.
3-0, I think, either way. To be honest, I don't think any of these teams, because our jungler is just miles better than anyone. It's just you should see some of the subhumans he gets on his team. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it was so crazy that last minute, sort of say we got Elysium, but they were super nice about scheduling it for Saturday. Our jungler had surgery like 2 days ago.
Jeez.
Yeah, so like it
he still
was.
pulled up.
Yeah, I mean, you guys saw me jungle gapped every game, so I don't know.
He did play incredibly well.
Yeah.
It's just Pat, man. This guy, and he's not tiltable. Like he could lose all 6 camps level 1, and he'd be like, "Alright, that's cool, man. I can look bot here."
Well, with
Alrighty.
that being said, what's next for Akuma Sabers? I almost said Akuma Glaives. I used to cast you guys a lot back when
Oh,
the
that's
Glaives team
tough.
was around all the time, but
Yeah, that Glaives team is tough.
But yeah, what's next for you guys? Are you playing in BOL again? Do you have plans to play anywhere else?
We're running it back with the same
Yeah,
roster.
we're running it back.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we were gonna try and go for Master potentially, but I think we'd get gapped right now. But I think if we keep playing solo queue and try and grind as hard as possible, we
Give
can
us
get there.
one more
I think,
split.
yeah, one more split.
One more, and we
Alrighty.
might see you all in Master. All right.
Hope
Gopher,
so.
You might want to start remembering their summoner names. Then you'll see them soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess one last thing. Any shout outs you guys want to give to any gamers in the audience before
Yeah.
we close out the season?
Quite a few. Real quick, I want to shout out our coach Riddy. He was like instrumental to us winning, and then our other coach Dan. Dan came in when we had Mui and benched him, which was ultimately the right decision. I want to shout out Mui too. Thanks, buddy, for taking that bench so nicely. Shout out to Flexkey. Really appreciate you getting banned there. That was great. And the whole org, Akuma, you guys were really great. I mean, I'm pretty sure the owner's dad and mom are mine, so that's pretty dope. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good season. Thanks to everyone. And shout out Chelsea. She told us how to beat Elysium. She told us that furry little feet guy, their jungler, was really bad at the game, and it turns out she was right. So shout out to Chelsea.
Oh no.
All right.
Shout out to Flexy, certainly. I got Flexkey.
Yeah, Flexkey is ultimately the MVP of the split. Shout out that guy.
But yeah, so with that being said, from all of us here at BOL Diamond, we are concluding yet another season. Our champions, Akuma Sabers. Thank you so much for joining us, Toomey and Matt, for an interview, and congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thanks for the cast. You guys are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thanks.
Anytime, guys. Thanks for accommodating us. I know I'm a little gold shitter, so I appreciate you
Nah,
guys not
you guys
making
are the
fun of me too
goats.
much.
To go. Yeah. But
For sure.
yeah.
But yeah.
We'll catch you guys next season.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Sir.
adios. And with that, to everybody watching BOL Diamond, we still have a little bit more of the season left to go. So stay tuned, because on Wednesdays we have semifinals for BOL Platinum coming up. We have semifinals for BOL Gold coming up. You're not going to want to miss it. We're going to get to bed now, though, because we're tired.
Yeah.
It's Saturday. We got stuff to do. So with that being said, everybody here, and myself, thank you for joining me, Go. And from everyone at BOL, see you next week.